shows.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown.
I mean, on the air, but I have to play you the clip from Always Sunny last night.
Oh, yeah. I saw that after I saw that text thread. So there's an Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What is that called when you work with each show?
Crossover.
And Abbott Elementary. Now, I watch Abbott Elementary. I have not seen episodes besides what you've shown me clips of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which how many years has that been on?
I think they just started their 17th season last night.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the season opener?
Yeah.
And so it was the crossover with Abbott?
Yes.
Pretty good?
Oh, yeah. You are going to get things from Abbott Elementary characters that you were not expecting.
I was going to say, because, it's basic cable, let's just say ABC, more tame. I mean, it's a fun show, but Always Sunny's a little bit edgier, right? So do we get a little edgier characters?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. From some of your favorite characters, you will not believe what they're saying.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Is the entire cast from Abbott in there that you know of?
Yeah.
Oh,
so it's
wow.
all the teachers.
All the janitor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Johnson. Intrigued. So this may be hard for you to tell me, but since you know Always Sunny, if I only watch that episode, would I be what?
So the idea of it is the perspective of it's not unseen. What's it called when you watch something and then there's extra footage,
Okay,
that they can't show on whatever show.
Oh,
Abbott
so it's
Elementary.
from them at Abbott?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the premise of the show is it's all the unused footage that they
Gotcha.
couldn't use on the show.
But it still makes a show for Always Sunny?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Because the way
So
Abbott
a lot of it is the characters on Abbott Elementary saying it's weird that they did this.
Gotcha. Because Abbott, the way it's shot, it's a little bit like The Office or whatever, where they're being filmed.
Yeah.
The characters will look in the camera. There's an acknowledgement.
It's the same with it's like the stuff they couldn't use on the show.
Okay.
So they know that there are cameras there.
Gotcha. Okay. But it was a good episode. I guess so. Good episode. All right. Well, that's something I'll have to check out. You would give that a thumbs up, though?
Definitely. And then the second episode of Always Sunny, absolutely incredible.
Oh, so there was a dual part?
No. This is just they do 2 seasons a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not 2 days, 2 shows a week.
Gotcha. Well, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I saw the text thread. I think it was you, me, Was it just you, me, and Simone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are the only people I know that watch.
Abbott. Okay. Well, I'm a regular to Abbott. That's for sure. Well, I'll have to see that. I'm looking forward to the clips. And is there a character? Do you know the characters from Abbott?
I don't know their names.
Okay. But how would you describe? Who's the one that is there one that you were surprised most about, or all of them?
All of them.
Okay. Well, that's intriguing.
They take them. I guess the end isn't part, or maybe it is, but they take them to their bar at the end of the show.
That makes sense.
As like a, hey, sorry guys.
Sorry for our behavior. Come to our bar and enjoy yourselves. All right. Well, that's something I will certainly have to check out. It is, I guess, quote unquote, getaway day, heading to Las Vegas later today. Chris and I have got all the
I'm freaking jacked.
All the radio equipment in here for tomorrow. Did the test, so we did a much earlier test than we would with Dave, I guess, involved. But at this point, I feel like you're a little bit nervous about tomorrow.
I don't like your computer.
Well, that's personal.
Same computer as mine.
Yeah, I don't like your computer. Yeah, so I think the equipment sounded fine. It was more of the video, right? Is our concern? Okay. Well, we'll see. Cross our fingers for tomorrow. I'll be doing one show from Las Vegas, and hopefully that'll all go well. But I hope I have everything. I'm pretty sure I do, but there's always that fear of when you pack, do you have everything? Do you have – look, you don't need a lot when you go there. It's going to be – I had just seen that it had been I say cooler. It's, low 100s in Las Vegas, like the next couple of days. 110. Perfect. In Las Vegas. I did get a chance yesterday to try to test with you as well when I was at home. And in the process, there was one step that was missing. So I didn't want to do it, but had to do it. Called Carmichael Dave.
But the thing was, he seemed like very excited to talk to you.
I said, "Oh, sorry to bother you. No bother. What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, just, blah, blah, blah." And then I think after I hung up with him, and then hung up with you, he called back again. He's like, all right, did everything work out? If not, get this cord, get this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, he's very helpful. But I'm also thinking, Dave, get on your vacation and enjoy yourself. But he's having fun. Dave will be back with us, I guess, now in a week and a half.
Or on the chat sooner.
That's true. He did jump in yesterday. You guys got a chance to see him briefly or talk to him, I guess, via the YouTube chat. So he might be there today. You can participate in today's show at the YouTube channel right there at Sacktown Sports. Hit the thumbs up while you're there. Like, subscribe. Let's keep adding those numbers up. Look, it makes us, I don't say me personally, feel better when you're there, when you're watching, when you're contributing, but also like, subscribe, give us those numbers. Those are all very, very appreciated and helpful to us. Also, the text line 916-339-1140. We got a good participation day yesterday on our chat, and it's funny, it was all the way at the very, very end of the show. You know what, I don't know how far back this goes, Chris, but it's going to be worth me checking out, because a lot of times I won't respond to it's impossible to respond to everybody. Okay, here it is. I'm going to find near the end of the show a response that I found interesting. Okay, it was basically talking about how we were talking about movies near the end of the show or throughout the show. And basically it started with that whole thing yesterday morning where I saw something on social media. To recap, it was whatever the movie title was on your 10th birthday is basically going to describe what your 2025 was.
And ours weren't the best.
Ours were not the best. Started doing that. Then we got into movies a little bit more with Allan, and we always do some sort of tie into movies on celebrity birthdays. And someone said, oh, well, maybe tomorrow we'll get to hear about everyone's favorite songs. And wait, I think there was something earlier than that I was responding to. Love turning into sports talk to hear what movies people have watched or not and how they feel about them. Next time I'll just tune into Siskel and Ebert. Thanks. And so I
don't think you could turn into Siskel and Ebert.
I know. So I think I started kindly with like, thanks for listening. Appreciate you. Then it was next time, maybe I'll get this music. And I said, look, you might, we did talk a lot about sports here. We do have 4 hours. It's also entertainment as well. We did get a ton of reaction on the movies, by the way. And I will say this, It doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Far more reaction to anything movies on our text line yesterday than just about anything else we talked about. By far, maybe quadruple the numbers.
And we talked a lot of Kings.
Absolutely.
Kings. We talked a lot of NBA Summer League.
Yeah. Some baseball. We had some football in yesterday. I mean, look, it's a slower time. It doesn't mean we won't get into it. We got a lot of that scheduled today.
And I am going to make a promise to, once the King season gets started and we're in the middle of it and they're even running for like a playoff spot or maybe even getting a high seed, making some moves at the trade deadline, we are still going to be talking about movies at the end of the show.
But Chris, it's a sports show. Yeah.
And that's a promise.
Prove it. Yeah, it's kind of what we do. I mean, the majority of it will be sports, but it is a little bit of pop culture, life, human interest, our own stories.
This is just like off of it, but like you're talking movies, I might as well get it out now. Have you noticed how early movies are starting at movie theaters?
As far as the time of day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to an 8 a.m. showing of Superman.
On what, the weekend, obviously?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that early.
Yeah, it's just like, it was one of those things like, it's one of those things like, I want to go see the movie, but at the same time, I want to know what the vibe is like at 8 a.m. at a movie theater.
I know I have never been to a movie theater at 8 a.m. I did go see when we saw Jurassic Park last week. It was after the show and it was kind of hey, I just, my son was gone. I said, my wife and I said, let's just go. I'm just going to go. I think we went to, it might've been like 12:30, but it felt like it was about the third show of the day.
Yeah.
So I was like, my goodness, one of these movies.
Well, I remember my cousin, she works at one of the theaters, and I think it was like around Christmas. It's Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's around one of those. And they're like, oh, she's got an early day tomorrow. I'm like, early day? What does that mean? Like, what? And she's like, oh, well, the movie starts at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So why did you pick 8 though? Like just to see the vibe?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you will be.
Hey, here's a little trick. You could take an egg sandwich in with you if you just sneak it in your pockets in your coat.
In your coat. I'm bringing a coat.
No one brings a movie trench coat for your snacks and drinks?
I don't, but that's where it's nice to have my wife, and she has a purse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because she's the one that got me started on this, and I'm religiously endorsing it. I'm behind it 100%. It's peanut M&Ms in the popcorn.
Never tried it.
Never tried it.
I don't think I'll like the texture on my hands.
In what do you think?
Like,
you think in the
do you put like no butter in it?
No. I mean, we have whatever they put. I mean, I don't want them to douse it. We're like, hey, would you please do light butter but layer it? So it's layered. There's some here, but it doesn't mean that's perfect.
Because that's what I'm thinking of, just like getting everything mixed with my hands.
Well, the thing, a lot of people go, yeah, but the chocolate milk, it does. Like, we don't put it in right at, obviously we get it at the counter. You walk in, you sit down. We're probably sitting for a little bit. Maybe the previews start. And it's like, all right, you want to put the M&Ms in? Perfect. And then, but the chocolate, the thick candy shell doesn't melt.
You still have popcorn while you're watching the previews?
You eat it all before then? I'm not there that early. But I do like to watch the previews. That's
the other tip. Oh, no, I don't. I hate previews.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's my thing. So here's where you and I are different. Here's my tradition at a movie theater. It's just me. It's something dumb. I feel like I've got about a 90% accuracy of whether or not necessarily whether the movie's going to be good, but whether or not I want to see the movie within 3 seconds of the trailer starting.
That sounds about right.
So
is that what the point of a trailer is supposed to be?
But like, it's like, it literally could be, I don't even know, Gemstone Entertainment, like in the screen, and then the first note of a song, or just the opening. It's like a house. I go, yep, I'm in. And then it's like, as it goes on, I go, nope. But sometimes the ones that get you, it's like where they're trying to trick you. It's like, in a world where, 1860 goblins or whatever. I'm like, I'm not interested. And then it's spoof. It's Adam Sandler. Surprise. I'm like, okay.
As we've talked about before, and you've been amazed by it, like I can figure out a movie just by a trailer.
That's ticked me off.
So
what
that's
was
why
the best one ever that you did to me.
the
Hitman's
Bodyguard.
I think that's with Ryan Reynolds, Samuel L. Jackson, Selma Hayek. The first one. I didn't see the second one, so it might have been. Yeah, I think that's it.
And I told you the whole plot
And
of the movie.
I watched it last night. It was pretty good. I think you'd like it. You're like, no, not. I'm like, come on, you don't even know what it's about. And then you're like, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
so I found it better for me just to like have an idea of what a movie is and go off of that. That's why like getting your own seat at the movie theater has saved me. Like, I think it's really been the best for me because I'm like, I know if like, okay, if I go 20, 25 minutes after the showtime, then I know I'm probably going to get one or two, but I know I'll miss most of them.
That far? The previews aren't that long.
I got to Jurassic World or Jurassic whatever.
Yeah.
25 minutes after showtime, and I saw 2 trailers.
Okay. I do remember I don't remember a movie from that trailer that I wanted to see. Maybe Superman was in that, but I remember going, ugh, I don't know that I've, because sometimes the trailers are closer to the type of movie you're watching. Like if you're going to see a comedy, then you see a bunch of comedies. If you're going to see a horror movie, it's like 4 horror movie trailers, usually.
When John Wick 3 was coming out, there was a trailer in one of the movies, and I was with somebody, and I just like took off
because you're seeing too much of what you thought.
I wanted to see zero. I don't want to see any of it.
Do you know what the movie was?
Huh?
Do you know what the movie was?
What do you mean? What movie we're seeing?
No, you said John Wick 3, the movie. Oh, it was the John Wick 3 trailer. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. You didn't want to see any more because you knew you were going to see it.
Yeah. So gotcha. That's what, like, that's one of the things too. If you know you're going to see a movie, there's no point of seeing the trailer.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, that's rare because hopefully the trailers are further out, but sometimes trailers are like the movie's coming out in like a week or 2 weeks. You're like, oh, I'm going to see this. And
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Now, I don't mind a tease.
But a trailer.
Like if it's like, Vin Diesel just moves, like drives this. If there's like a car that drives up and Vin Diesel gets out and it's like Fast 12, Summer 2027.
Yeah. That's the ones that gets me too. It's like coming fall of 2036. You're like, wait, what? Have you even started anything on this movie? I got to be in that movie. All right. Today on the show, lots to get to. We will get to sports. We have 3 for Madness coming your way. Safe or out. We got NBA news from yesterday. Big payday for Devin Booker. Good at business. He is good at business. Sports business with Kelly Brothers. He will join us at 7:30. Out of a request, I reached out to Sam Amick yesterday. Sam is going to be on, but Sam's like, good luck. I'll try to make sure I'm awake. I'm in Vegas already. I went, you know what, Sam? Let's move you to 9 o'clock. Let's help you out. So Sam is going to join us at a special time today.
This is the height of luxury.
As he is at the height of luxury, he will join us at 9. Allan Styles at the end of the show. All that and so much more. But let's do it. Let's lead off.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Road trip!
Vegas Summer League road trip. Yes, that's right. The Kings are already there. They play today. We'll be there later this afternoon to watch them play the Orlando Magic. I say with a question mark. I think it's Orlando. Kings and Magic today. To me, it's really about seeing the new guys that they've drafted, see what they look like, the development of what we hope to see in Devin Carter, Isaac Jones, Mason Jones, but Cardwell, and Reynaud and Clifford, Steven, these are guys that we're going to be our Summer League roster. And you want to see if they're going to be able to contribute to the big club when that season comes around. So Summer League, it is what it is. You're out there, like I always say, in preseason or in Summer League. I really don't care if the Kings win, but they do. They're out there. They're competing. And you put a time and a score, and you have officials and box scores and all that. They're out there for a reason. So go out there and try to win another Summer League title. See if you can get your 3rd. I don't care if we lead the world in Summer League titles. At some point, I want a real one in the NBA. But look, we'll start with Summer League here. This is the kind of the official start to next season. And like I said, it's a opportunity to watch them, to watch others. I did not realize this till yesterday, Chris. This is where I've been a little screwed up on my timing. I did know because they've been hyping it that also today is the Bronny versus Cooper Flag game.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard? Did you know that this is Cooper Flag's first game in the NBA?
I hate how come. Why?
What do you mean?
Why is Bronny also the?
I know. Why is he getting the headline? It's the Cooper Flag game. Let's put it that way. But I knew it was after the Kings game, and I'm like, perfect. And then I look closer, and there's basically the way it works is there's 2 games going on at the same time. Cox Pavilion, where the Kings are playing, and Thomas and Mack is the bigger arena. That one's going to hold that game. But I thought it was like perfect. The Kings will play. Then, I'm going to want to go see the headline, or I'll get over there and see if I could find a seat, get in there, or just stand, whatever. That's fine. They're a half hour apart, and I really need to see the Kings play. So I don't know. Maybe at the end of the Kings game.
But you're going to miss Bronny.
I'll see if I can squeeze into Thomas and Mack. I will say, I wonder how many people will be at the Kings game. Because everybody's going, didn't you say it was the highest Summer League ticket price?
I think the last time I saw it's $230.
Wow. Should I go and sell my media pass?
Yeah.
And have my broadcasting career come to an end? Big day out there in Vegas. Lots of games. I think the first one starts at 12:30. I'll be flying out mid-morning here around noon. And then a little before noon, get out there, get to the game, watch the team, have a report tomorrow. See what we got. We'll
run into Bobby G.
Hang with Bobby G, the original G-Man, high flyer. Sean Cunningham's already down there. We got some of our staff going as far as Brendan. Frankie.
Bring the boom. That's what we do.
Chris Watkins. Does he have a sounder?
I got to get one for him.
We got to get one for him. Allan will be on his way. Not today, but tomorrow, I think, or Saturday. Yeah, they'll all be done. Deuce, Mo, and others. Look forward to seeing all of them down there in Vegas. We'll have a full report.
Wait, what? I mean, you said Watkins, but what were the under their names as you said?
Watkins, Deuce, and Mo.
Who?
Deuce.
Who?
Mo.
Oh, she does the Valkyries games.
Oh, but I said Deuce.
Who?
And Mo.
Yeah.
She does the Valkyries games.
Yeah.
But Deuce.
Who?
Oh man, how you doing that to my guy Deuce?
I'm sure he'll text me.
We look forward to catching up with the people down there, but certainly watching the Kings in action tonight. All right, let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
The 0-1 swung on, line deep to left. Ramos back to the wall, looks up, and it's gone. An opposite field line drive home run for Kyle Schwarber. It's a 3-run home run.
That was the Phillies demolishing the Giants. Remember yesterday when I was talking about the Giants being the hottest team in the National League, and we buy in they're still fine. They take the series 2 out of 3, lose yesterday, in blowout fashion to the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies got loose as that game went along. It was a good game early, and then it just kept progressively getting worse for the Giants. But they'll regroup. They're off today. They'll get back in action tomorrow, starting another series. And that one, if I'm not mistaken, the final one before the break is with the Dodgers. So see if they can make up some ground on the now suddenly struggling Los Angeles Dodgers. All right, cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
0-2, and he whacks one to deep right field. This has got a shot. Butler to the wall. That is gone as well. It's a homer by Acuna, his second of the night. And Eureka, Braves on top 7-0.
Woof. And Chris is right. It says ATB, Atlanta Braves.
Obviously.
Not ATL.
Well, I mean, that's obviously the Athletics.
Yes. Have you seen that one comedian's bit? I have no idea his name. I've seen him multiple times. But his whole, the whole thing I saw was his bit on the people that made the postal codes or the postal state abbreviations.
No.
It's a pretty funny bit. But basically he's talking about we had to get a committee because the post office said we need to come up with the state down to 2 letters to make it easy for everybody. And they're like, this shouldn't take very long, blah, blah, blah. Let's take meeting note. It's a really funny thing of the way he delivers, because then it's like, they're just cruising right along, Arizona, easy, boom. Alaska, AL, great. Alabama, uh-oh. Or Arkansas, Arizona, uh-oh. Maine, or Michigan, Mississippi, it's just the whole thing. It's really pretty funny. But here on our initials, ATB means the Atlanta Braves. And yeah, they demolished the Athletics yesterday. So what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, we're on here playing all these great highlights of inside the park home runs from the A's, the walk-off inside the park home run, just incredible finale from the Giants. A day later, both get absolutely worked, and we'll have to regroup now. For the A's, they're back in action to close out the series with the Braves. The Giants get the day off. We'll have more on that coming up, including much more NBA breakdown today about the Kings and their Summer League opener. But when we come back, it's safer out time. We will talk about the suddenly struggling Dodgers, Justin Verlander, and it's bobblehead night in Sacramento for Lawrence Butler. We'll talk about bobbleheads as well in Safer Out. All coming your way right here on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The ultimate off-road adventure awaits during Sky River Casino's $300,000 Blazing Bronco giveaway. Every Saturday, lucky guests will play for a chance to win free play, cash, or a brand new 2025 Ford Bronco Badlands. Earn entries by playing your favorite slots and table games. Grab a free daily entry. Plus, get 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the story of Brent Rooker keeps getting better and better. Not long ago, he was with 3 different organizations before becoming a waiver claim by the A's. And now he's on pace for his 3rd straight 30-homer season. And when the best players in baseball gather in Atlanta on the 15th, Rooker will take part in his 2nd All-Star game in the last 3 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Cage, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Look, I've played a lot of golf courses in Sacramento, but if you want pristine conditions, a fun layout, and 27 holes that never get old, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is the spot. The fairway's perfect, the greens smooth and true, the practice facility next level. And whether you're out for a casual round or hosting a big tournament, Timber Creek delivers every time. The course is always in top shape, the staff treats you right, and the experience, it's unmatched. It's easily my favorite place to play in Sacramento. Book your tee time now at timbercreekgc.com.
And we're back live during a Flex Alert. Dialed in on the thermostat. Oh, we're pre-cooling before 4 p.m., folks.
And that's the end of the third. Time to set it back to 78 from 4 to 9 p.m. Clutch move by the home team. What's the game plan from here on out?
Laundry?
Not today.
Dishwasher?
Sidelined.
What a performance by Team California. The power truly is ours.
During a Flex Alert, pre-cool, power down, and let's beat the heat together.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, safer out coming your way in just a moment. Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud. I will say, Chris, you did confirm what you told me earlier about the Abbott Elementary Always Sunny crossover, showing me a clip that you said you weren't ready for. I wasn't quite ready for it.
Yeah,
based on
you
the characters.
got like sort of a warning.
Yeah, I did, so I knew I was prepped, but I still wasn't prepped for what you showed me. I now want to see that episode for sure. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait. All right, 916-339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Again, Kelly Brothers joining us at 7:30. Sam Amick.
Good at business.
And Sam will join us at 9.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
See how he's doing in Vegas. Day 1 in Vegas. So, I think.
Hey, Sam, what have you been up to in Vegas?
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Oh.
Wow. That's why I had to move the show to 9. All right. So Sam Amick brought to you by Jiffy Lube a little bit later. But it is time for Safer Out, Chris. Question 1.
The Brewers walked off the Dodgers yesterday, and now LA's losing streak is at 6. Safer out. The World Series champs should be concerned.
No, that's out. Shouldn't be concerned. Look, they're still the World Series champs. I still would think they are a team to beat. They still have a great record. With the 6-game losing streak, they're still 5 clear of the Giants. They're 56-38, which is the best record in the National League. It is the second best record in the major leagues. They do have some pitching concerns and some injuries. Guess what? They were as injured as any pitching staff that I've seen go to the postseason and get through the postseason last year. It's still a great lineup. It's still a great team. I think if you're the Giants and Cubs and Brewers who swept them and Phillies and everyone else trying to catch them, Mets, Padres, you're enjoying this, but look, they've won more games than not. They've got all the experience. They've got a good manager. They've got all the pieces to win again. So, yeah, I would say that's out. They're just in a bad stretch. I know they're hitting under 200 in this stretch. It's a lineup that's still really good. I wouldn't be worried at all if I was the Dodgers. Question 2.
Justin Verlander dropped to 0-7 after another loss yesterday for the Giants. Safer out. This isn't working.
All right, I wanted to look up Verlander's game log because I did watch a lot of the game yesterday, and I will say this. I thought Justin Verlander yesterday specifically actually started to look like a guy that, all right, I know how he's pitched. He hasn't performed very well at all. So his previous outing, he was awful. That was against the A's. He went, I don't think he went 3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Yesterday, and I will say the outing before that, 6 innings, gave up an earned, 5 innings, gave up 3 earned. It just looks to me like he's getting a little bit more and more comfortable. Yesterday, I thought was one of his better outings. Gave up 7 hits in 6 innings, so it's a tad high, but not terrible. 2 earned runs, gave up a home run to Harper, 7 Ks, but some of his location, some of his pitches was starting to look a little bit more like him and like what they expected. But 0-7, yeah, right now I would say that's safe. It's not working. But I still think you have Verlander for what the pitcher he has been, And that doesn't mean he will get there, but also doesn't mean he can't get there. So I think this is one of those things you continue to watch. You see him recover. I'm less concerned about the wins. Obviously, in baseball, you're trying to win as a team. But pitching wins, I think, is a stat that's a little bit overrated now. But look, you want innings, you want command, you want someone that can get you through the lineup multiple times. And Verlander still has that ability. It hasn't produced the kind of wins. Now, also the team has struggled offensively, so he could use a day where the Giants give him a little bit of help. But that's one to watch. Look, I don't think you force it, but I like I said, watching him yesterday, I thought there were some elements where I'm going, all right, this is closer. Not there, but closer to what they're looking for. So that's something to watch. I wouldn't say it's not working for the Giants just yet. All right, let's get to question number 3 and safe her out.
Tonight is Lawrence Butler bobblehead night at Sutter Health Park.
Hey.
Safer out. Bobbleheads are cool.
What are you talking about? I like bobbleheads. To each their own. They're all a little bit different. I know the one they had with Mason Miller earlier this year, I think had like fire coming out of the ball like that. You're trying to upgrade them, make them look good. Sometimes the actual face, you're like, all right, that doesn't even look like the person, but I like bobbleheads. I don't know that I go out of my way to collect them. I do have the Kings bobbleheads from back in the early 2000s when everybody was seemingly lining up at Carl's Jr.'s to go get them. Do you remember that, Chris? Was that a thing that you remember?
I remember. I can't remember where we were going to. I remember we were driving somewhere, and there was like a Carl's Jr. like along the freeway, and the line outside is like, whoa.
Yeah. I remember we did a remote for Kings Talk when we used to have Kings Talk once a week.
Talking about Kings?
Talking about Kings. We talking about the Lakers?
Oh, please.
Oh, please. No, Kings. Kings Talk. And it was a remote, kind of a joint sponsorship at at Carl's Jr. And I remember pulling up going, man, I can't even find parking. What's going on? And then you just see, like you said, the line. You're like, this is for the show? No, they were there for the bobbleheads. Crazy.
The one thing I think is super lame, I don't even know how you fix this with like eBay and stuff like that, but I
know what you're going to say.
I went to an A's game last year, and I think it was Jose Canseco bobblehead day.
Okay.
So my friend and I were just like, oh, yeah, that'd be cool to go. And we got there early. We went to like one of the places like, oh, sorry, we're out. So it's like, all right. So we went around the whole stadium. It's just like, yeah, we're out. And then you're walking through the stadium, and no joke, several people have garbage bags full of bobbleheads. And it's just like,
yeah,
what are you doing? Like,
how did that happen? 2,
it's like they bought their tickets, and they're like, I want a bobblehead for each scanned ticket.
I also thought, like, to me, it's a little bit of a weird premise if it's, in Sutter Health Park's not a good example because it's a smaller stadium, but random baseball stadium seats 40,000 people, and its first 10,000 get a bobblehead. Why wouldn't everybody have enough for everybody? I never understood that. Like, so I have to get here early. I have to, and I don't know. It's a weird thing to me. But then the other part of it is, look, if you're supposed to get one, can you get one?
Yeah.
You don't need 9, and then you see where you go, oh, bobblehead on eBay that night, and you're like, they were free, and now you're selling them for $35. Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, I guess all of that.
And if I have to watch this crappy A's game to get a bobblehead, I earned it.
I want my bobblehead. Yeah.
The one they had a few years ago is the Dio de los Muertos bobblehead was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like when teams do little gimmicks and get, have some fun with it. Certainly have the
current we
players.
had the Black Panther one here for a while. I think it got broken, but that was pretty cool.
I have that one somewhere. I don't know where that is.
That was like perfect.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
And it was like a nice one too.
It really was.
It wasn't like a cheap like knockoff type of thing.
Yeah. The tricky thing is with bobbleheads, like I have them and I don't have them out. Like they're in my garage in a box or something. So I guess I don't know if that defeats the purpose, but I do have some of that, like this, the Bobby Jackson, Scott Pollard. They did that for a couple years in a row, and I think they brought those back before. I don't remember the last time they've done bobbleheads, but for the Kings I'm speaking of. But that was a thing. That certainly was a thing, and it's very popular. We'll see how many people are out there to see Lawrence Butler play tonight and to grab the Lawrence Butler bobblehead. All right, when we come back, let's get back into the NBA. There are still some remaining free agents out there. Also, Phoenix made sure that they've got their guy Devin Booker for a while. He got a huge payday. We'll talk about that and more. Some notes around the NBA when we return right here on Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave, and I don't need to tell you it's hot. So while we're enjoying the grill and celebrating the country's independence and all that fun stuff, why don't we also celebrate some independence from our bills, specifically our energy bill? Look, American Energy Heating and Air, I tell you all the time, they've been around since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Yelp, Google, does not matter. Read the reviews. You will find your neighbors, your friends who have used them, love them. And all they want to do is be your second opinion partner. Here's the deal. If you are already working with another HVAC company, I know it gets confusing. I know everybody has these really cool sounding commercials with paid radio shows telling you what to do. Listen to me. Deal with it by calling American Energy at 916-520-9990, just asking them for a second opinion. Let them bid on the job you have. Worst case scenario, you know you got a good deal. Best case scenario, you got a great company that's saving you money. 916-520-9990, AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
He waited a lifetime for this moment. Now it's time to celebrate. The official collection. The Oklahoma City Thunder, NBA champions. Available now at NBA Store. A Fanatics experience.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
How far do you hit your 7-iron? The answers will tell you which tees to play, according to Josh Sens in Golf Magazine. Deep down, you know you shouldn't be playing from the tips, but it's common for golfers to play from too far back. Aside from higher scores, rounds become a grind and golf becomes much less fun. After several years of research, the USGA unveiled a new data-driven offering to find the proper tees called Best Tees. If you know how far you hit your 7-iron, Best Tees will tell you which tee boxes to play. A typical male golfer should be playing from 6,100 yards and a typical female golfer from 4,400 yards. Most players have a good idea of their 7-iron distance, with average male's distance of 138 yards and average females of 100 yards. Throw out the occasional perfect shot, which travels more than those distances, and concentrate on your average. This will allow you to reach the vicinity of most greens in regulation and let you hit a variety of clubs on approach shots. Leave your ego at home and give it a chance. You'll have more fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Again, another reminder, Sam Amick moved today from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, joining us live from Vegas.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
So we look forward to our time with Sam each and every week when we get a chance to talk to him, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Sam will join us next hour, about 45 minutes away from talking some sports business with Kelly Brothers.
Good business.
And we'll see what's on Kelly's mind for today. Well, continuing the show, rolling right along here at 916-339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Jason Ross, Chris Verlade here on this lovely morning. Wanted to get into a couple things from around the NBA from yesterday. First one was a sad note, but honestly one that I was a little taken back by because I hadn't heard about him or heard from him in a long, long time. And this one will kind of go back in the Wayback Machine, and I'm going to test Chris, do you remember when you started to become a little bit of a fan of basketball? Do you have a rough idea of kind of when your fandom, at least, or your intrigue started?
I don't know, like Michael Jordan.
So that's late 80s, 90s?
Oh, no, this is like
mid-90s?
Like probably right before his first retirement.
So that's what,
93, 94?
93. So I think it would have been a little before. Do you remember Frank Layden by chance?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I was trying to remember if you would. Frank Layden was the longtime coach or former coach of the Utah Jazz, was synonymous with the Jazz, did a lot of different things. But then where I think he became famous for a lot of people, he was a part of like some sort of NBA, like they used to have like the NBA Today, not NBA Today, but like the Ahmad Rashad show with Willow Bay and like different people. But he used to do, even prior to that, he did a bunch of
Inside
NBA,
the NBA or NBA stuff.
It's kind of stuff like that, but it was like a weekly show. But he also then started doing like back when they had VHS tapes, he would have blooper videos. And Frank Layden he was a great personality. Anyway, I wanted to bring him up and acknowledge him because yesterday he passed away at the age of 93. And I, to be in all candor, did not know that Frank was still with us, but what a just kind of a legend, certainly around the NBA and certainly the Utah Jazz. So wanted to start there, at least with the acknowledgement. But Devin Booker yesterday was big news around the league. He agreed to a 2-year extension that is going to pay him around $145 million. And it is a cash grab for one of your favorite players. Number 2 on your list, Chris. And
especially after that contract.
Yeah.
Number 1.
When Phoenix went through the year that they did last year as the highest payroll team and they missed the playoffs, it made sense that they were going to move Kevin Durant. I don't know that I love the fact that they're talking about buying out Bradley Beal. I thought to truly get better, though, to truly make an impact and a difference, I thought the guy they needed to trade was Devin Booker. Now, I get why they don't want to. I'm not saying they have to. This is a new owner in Matt Ishbia that, like we say here, a lot of people like Kings bottom out, trade everybody, blow it up, whatever your version of your saying is. I don't think Vivek wants to do that, and that's fine. He's not alone in that. I think there's company right there in Phoenix. Matt Ishbia is brand new to this. He said, what did he say last year famously? I have 29 other teams would love our roster. I don't think he was right. We're going to get this right. They've made changes. They've been very reactionary. And Devin Booker's the best player. That's not a mystery. I just don't know Devin Booker on his own. Like, Devin Booker got to the finals. That was a good team that made it there. Got the right recipe, got through, but losing Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton and what they've replaced him with Durant eventually and Beal didn't pan out, or at least they didn't give it enough time to let it pan out, and they weren't going to wait. So they're still able to get some stuff for Kevin Durant. They might not get anything for Bradley Beal, and now they're paying Devin Booker just an ungodly amount of money. And Booker, to me, is one of those guys that is very, very good. Very good. But when we kind of do that proverbial list where you go, oh, he's a top 10 player in the league, I don't think he is. He's top 20 probably. But that's a big difference when you start to go, all right, who are these guys that you feel like, one, are MVP candidates, leading scorer types, all-NBA, all-star, which Booker is right there in all of those, but also the kind of guy that can take your team maybe without enough of other players like on a serious run. And I don't think Booker is that guy, me personally. But that's what they elected to do yesterday. So we've been talking about this, how quickly the league changes and how, don't get too comfortable with these players because this is a league that turns over pretty quickly. But Booker's one of those guys now. Will he start his career and end his career as a Phoenix Sun? I like those careers. I think they're pretty awesome. I saw a post the other day. It had the list of every team's longest tenured player. And I'm just going to go down the list because I found it interesting. And some are, okay, I believe that. I don't know if you want to try to participate, Chris, or if I just rifle through them. But I'll ask you a few of the teams. What's your guess on Atlanta? Longest tenured player on the Hawks.
Ever or right now?
Right now, currently.
Oh, currently.
Yeah, which you'll probably get. This one's not.
Trae
Young. So he's been there since 2018. After he was drafted. All right, so boom. Boston.
Tatum.
That's actually Brown, but Brown was just ahead of him.
If he's there.
Yeah. Brooklyn, I'm not even going to bother because good luck. It's Nick Claxton.
Oh, yeah, a long time Brooklyn net, Nick Claxton.
Yeah. Charlotte, we go Miles Bridges. Chicago, Colby White. Cleveland's Darius Garland. Dallas, this one surprised me, but he's been there a while. Since 2014, Dwight Powell. So that's a long run there. Denver, the Joker, which he's been there now 10 seasons. Detroit is Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart. The Warriors, we know this. It's Steph Curry, and he's probably going to be one of those guys that starts and ends his career at the same spot.
Not if Dave has his wish.
Jason Tate in Houston. Indiana, so the team that was just in the finals. Who was their longest tenured player? Just a guess for you. Which I would not have gotten this one. Because it just changed with Miles Turner.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of as Miles Turner. It's not Halliburton, is it?
No, it's but it's TJ McConnell.
Okay.
Who came there from Philadelphia in 2019. Clippers.
Jeez.
Yeah. Clippers, Ivica Zubats. The Lakers. It's actually
obviously LeBron James.
It's LeBron.
No way.
Yeah. You were joking, huh?
I was thinking that. I thought it was going to be a bench player.
It's LeBron. Memphis is Jaren.
That's stupid.
Jaren Jackson Jr. Miami is Bam Adebayo. Milwaukee is Giannis, but here's another one that makes sense, but also rumors about him potentially moving. Minnesota is Naz Reid. New Orleans is Zion Williamson. The Knicks, Mitchell Robinson. OKC, just in the finals. Longest tenured player.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Lou Dort, 2019. I mean, it's not a long time. He was signed on a two-way deal on July 6th of 2019. Orlando's Jonathan Isaac, Philadelphia Embiid, Phoenix, of course, now Devin Booker. Portland is Shaedon Sharpe, who was signed on July 1st, 2022. Their longest tenured player. For the Kings, February 8th, 2022, Domantas Sabonis.
That's crazy.
The Spurs, it's Keldon Johnson. Toronto, Scotty Barnes. Utah, Walker Kessler. And Washington, Corey Kispert. I mean, this thing moves quickly. And Devin Booker stays in Phoenix, gets the big deal. And I don't know. I don't love what Phoenix is doing right now. They're kind of going through it, trying to transform the team, but without bottoming out too. even though they weren't very good last year. But congrats to him. Go get the money if you can get it. I don't fault him. Not at all. All right, when we come back, all right, the NBA did announce their cup brackets yesterday. The Group A, Group B, Group C in the East and West. We'll go over that, what the Kings have in front of them. Also, off to Vegas. We'll have a little bit of conversation about that and much more, including thoughts on the California Classic, which just wrapped up without the Kings, and why they should be a permanent fixture in that going forward. That's all coming up in 3 for Madness when we start the 7 o'clock hour here on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com to join.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
This summer, the heat keeps coming on the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kicking off when Third Eye Blind and Neon Trees light up the stage on July 25th at the venue at Thunder Valley. Then head up to the lake for not one, but 2 nights with Old Dominion, August 1st and 2nd at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. And come right back up August 17th for Glass Animals. On August 21st, flash back to your favorite decade with Lost 80s Rewind featuring Flock of Seagulls at Thunder Valley Resort and Casino. Then, get weird with the one and only Weird Al Yankovic live at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on August 24th. On August 29th, Japanese Breakfast takes the stage at the all-new Channel 24 music venue in downtown Sacramento. And don't miss the legendary Darius Rucker bringing the country heat to the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on September 13th. For tickets and more details, keep it right here on Sacktown Sports or visit sacktownsports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobbit, a Hobbit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Hobbit Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
Right now, you can get the family wherever you need to get them. When you save up to $17,000 off MSRP on the new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. With the gas tax having gone up this month, that means you save even more at the pump with one of America's favorite hybrids.
What's happening at the giant Hobbit Certified Pre-Owned Super Center?
Well, not only is Hobbit your one-stop shop for new Ram trucks, we are your pre-owned truck superstore. Right now, we have over 100 quality pre-owned trucks in stock. So whatever truck you're looking for, your perfect ride is waiting at Hobbit. Diesels, lifted trucks, 4x4s, Hemis, heavy duties. We have them all waiting for you.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory, new and used, at hobbitdodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hobbit, period. 17,000 total net savings after 7,500 factory rebates and 9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 2025 select inventory bonus cash, 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. Employee pricing for all included in dealer discount. VIN number 712-678. See dealer for details.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, back here on the show, hour number 2. Jason Ross, Christopher Log, Carmichael Dave on vacation. He's back with us in a couple of weeks, in fact, a week and a half more for Dave on his vacay. I appreciate those of you checking in on our YouTube, continuing conversations over there. Also on our text line, wanted to clean up a couple there. We were talking about movies and trailers, Chris. Someone did kind of confirm with you from, where was this? From the 530, when I went to see the movie Sinners, the trailers lasted about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it that long?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just so into it. Give me more trailers.
You're like the person.
I am. It's for me. It's fine. If they're narrow casting, you got me. I'm there. I don't like to be late to movies because I like to see the trailers.
See, but like you do have to play it smartly because every once in a while I've gotten caught of they're in the start of the movie as I'm walking in.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, did I?" And then maybe the most important part of the movie was in the first 45 seconds.
I was listening to the Lonely Island podcast with Seth Meyers, and Seth Meyers said when he saw Sixth Sense, he got there late and he missed the scene with Donnie Wahlberg. So he's just like, "Wait, what? Why would he be dead?"
Now that one is one of the few movies where that really was important. That movie I remember seeing in the theater. I don't think we're doing any kind of spoilers here at this point.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense.
Yeah. From
1999.
5 years ago, 26 years ago. Is that right?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. You know what?
You're asking me?
I know. Now you're going to make me do it. Whoa. Computer just completely went out. All right. But I remember when it happened, you know, I'm always late to the party, like trying to figure something out. I'm like, oh. But then even I go, no, but remember when, but then, oh yeah, I guess, but because to me, it still didn't seem to add up. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it did. Yeah, 1999. Well done, Chris. Oh, we're coming, you know, we're going to be asking that question in about a month. So pretend like you don't know.
All right.
When I go, hey, Dave, on this date, in what year did the movie Sixth Sense come out? Yeah, those are for me. Trailers are for me. Also on the text line, Jason, yesterday, Mitch Spence was down 4-0 after 4 batters. Why do you think managers are so reluctant to pull the pitcher right away? He let him in, and they kept giving up bombs. Feels like they gave themselves no chance to win. That's from Jeff. I don't know. Managers, that's a feel. And obviously that feel was wrong yesterday for Marcotte. But, you know, you have a plan. The plan is your starter. And, yeah, plans go wrong. And some guys have been burned. In this case, yesterday, Kotze was. Trying not to get to that bullpen that early is what the goal is. But obviously that game got out of hand. I think it was 7-0 before the A's even scored. So, anyway, all right, let's say it is 3 for Madness time. You heard that going in. Let's go with question number 1.
You are heading to Vegas today, Jason.
That's right.
There are a lot of things to do while in Vegas. Rank these in order of your preference.
Okay.
Walking the Strip, a Vegas pool, the gym to watch basketball, the casino, or a Vegas show.
There are more things to do, but we've got a list of 5 here. Rank them in order of what I'd like to do. Ironically, one of my favorite things to do, especially in the heat, is to be outside in the heat and by a pool like that in water. I love water. If it's the ocean, if it's a pool, if it's a water slide, if it's a lake, whatever. I like to be in the water. I think that, I've just always been a fan of the water, except for Vegas. Vegas pools are just different, and I'm thinking of in my mind. I have a visual of like one of those pool parties that has like literally every single person is in the pool where his body that's exactly my thought. I'm like, nope. So I'm gonna put that last, and I know it's not always that way, but if you have a spot where you're at a hotel that has a pool and you're one of 25 people that are there, that's fine. But if you're one of 25 people in a square foot radius of just like the corner of the pool, that's not for me. So I'll put that 5th. 4th, let's see, what else did we have on there? We had, I'll probably say going to a show. Like I will be entertained and would like a show that I would go to, but with the exception of, I think 1 or 2 times, have I ever gone to Vegas, the reason being the show. So, and while I'm there, like that's not a plan this time. I'm there to watch basketball, and so I'm going to put that 4. 3, I don't care about. You know what? I'm going to do Walking the Strip 4. The show 3.
Walking the Strip is cool when it's not 107 out.
I love people watching. It's a great people watching city. But also I've done that many times, and I'm not saying I would always tell people, like I am more of a fan of, if I go to Vegas, I do like to gamble. I go to some of the outlying areas like Henderson or wherever you can get all the stuff you want, but the Strip is just mayhem. But I would tell anybody who's never been there, you got to go to the Strip. You got to see it.
What's so bad is like when the temperatures are so hot and people are walking the Strip, you can smell the rubber melting into the ground. It's
Last night I was doing some packing, and I go, let me just check the temperature of Vegas, and it said something like Vegas 99. I go, no, but what's it going to be? I go, it's 99 now, and it was like 9:15 at night. I'm like, oh geez.
And you could still, if you haven't been there and you're walking around 10, 11 o'clock at night, the sidewalk, you can feel it's almost like an oven to where it's like baking you as you're walking.
Yeah. Last year when I was there, I remember I was going, I think Sean Cunningham and I were together. We were going to lunch somewhere, and we were walking as many inside casinos as we could, but there's one part that's connecting. We went through Aria. Anyway, wherever we were, then we were getting to another hotel, but there was probably about a 50-step walk, maybe 100 between casinos that was outside. And you're like, ooh, just that, because you were in 70 degrees out to 115 and then right back into 70. You're like, wow, that just was a shock to the system. So I would put Walking the Strip 4th, show 3rd, and then interchange. I mean, normally I'm not there to watch. Well, I guess normally I only go in the summer right now with some league, but I love watching basketball out there, and I like the casinos. What would your ranking be there, Chris, of those 5?
I think I'm right with you.
Yeah. The pool is the pool idea is, like I said, the concept is right. I'd like to be in a pool if it's that hot, but not with 5,000 other people.
What's weird is you talk about the show, and strangely enough, I would want, this isn't possible, but I'd want to go like to a 90s Vegas show to like
Like what?
Siegfried and Roy
back
then,
Mm-hmm.
or like whatever.
Carrot Top,
like Wayne Newton back then.
Is Carrot Top still performing?
I think he is.
Wow.
I have seen Wayne Newton in Vegas.
You have?
Yeah.
At a show, or just you saw him walking around?
It was the open of the T-Mobile Center.
Okay.
And the show was The Killers, and Wayne Newton was one of the openers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Was he great or
no?
No. Why was he not great?
He's old.
Okay, and he didn't match with the Killers really, but
yeah, but like it's one of those like, hey, it's Wayne Newton, and he's like singing his songs and stuff, but it's just like it was a struggle.
It's really sad. Who's the guy? Have you
Frankie
seen
Valli?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like, why are they doing that?
No, stop, please.
I mean, look, he had an incredible career, and I'm not for like, hey, he can't do it. He can't. He's lip syncing, and he's not even doing it. Like literally, it's his song. You know, he's lip syncing. That's fine. If you like the song, you like the songs. But at times, he's not even mouthing the words, and you're like, oh boy, why do we allow this to even happen? But all right, we'll see how Vegas goes. We'll have a full report for you tomorrow, and certainly next week when we're back. Let's get to question number 2.
Maybe. Question 2.
It is the second time that the California Classic has played in San Francisco, and the crowds have been sparse. Shouldn't this become a permanent Sacramento fixture?
Yeah, easy answer is yes. I mean, it's been, I would say, wildly successful in Sacramento, and I tell this every time. Every year this happens. Here's the way, at least I was told back when the origination of the California Classic came about. The idea of it is in the name. Sacramento, Golden State, Lakers, Clippers. Clippers, for whatever reason, have never been interested in the California Classic. Kings then found another team. They got the Miami Heat. That's how it originated, those 4 teams. The thought was it'll be in Sacramento, it'll be in San Francisco, or Oakland even at the time, maybe I can't remember when it started around then. LA, like it'll rotate between the Clippers, the Lakers, the Kings, and the Warriors. Pretty decent concept. It's another edition of Summer League. Orlando's had a Summer League, Utah has a Summer League, and then Vegas is the Summer League where everybody is there. And we've seen it grow. We've seen San Antonio become a regular. We've seen Charlotte come into this mix at times. We've seen other independent teams come through. So it has legs to work. Now that it's been in San Francisco twice, if I'm not mistaken, the one year I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. It was kind of right around, after the COVID and lockdown time. So it was a little bit more difficult. But to say basketball is not successful in San Francisco is a wrong statement, because the Warriors do just great when they have their games, and the Valkyries have been incredible. And that whole atmosphere is awesome. But for whatever reason, the California Classic didn't ring true to them this year. And I think in Sacramento, whether they've had a pick as high as Marvin Bagley or Keegan Murray or someone that's not really drafted that high, it has done well. And people like basketball here, not that they don't in the Bay, but it's just done very well here. And I just feel like they could continue it to keep it here. I was a little bit saddened that the Kings weren't involved in it this year, and I think there's all sorts of plans to have them back, but I think it needs to be kind of our thing, Sacramento's thing. And I think of California Classic moments. I mean, that's weird that they've had some moments here, and obviously some can be poked fun at now in history, but Marvin Bagley's first game in the first few minutes had probably one of his highlight dunks as a pro when he posterized Mo Wagner of the Lakers. I mean, that was an amazing moment. The Kings are getting grief for taking Bagley. He comes in and has that dunk, and that might have been peak Bagley, even though he had actually a decent rookie year. We all know should have taken Luka or SGA or whatever, but the point is there was a moment at the California Classic for Marvin Bagley. I think about Keegan Murray, year 1, but more importantly, year 2, when he was asked to kind of go get it, go after it. And Keegan Murray is out there shooting at a high volume and dominating out there. So there's been moments. Last year, I'll admit it, we were there, we were broadcasting, and we're hearing a ton of rumors about the Kings' interest in DeMar DeRozan, and it was like really heating up. I think it's going to happen. Boom, it happened moments before tip-off. And then for DeMar DeRozan to walk out, honestly, it was there, and it felt like a goosebump moment time for Kings fans. So there have been moments. I feel like the California Classic has been endorsed by the Kings fans, basketball fans in our community, and it feels like this should be Sacramento's baby. It just does. And I would say yes, yes, yes. Keep that thing permanently in Sacramento until it's proven wrong to not work. So that would be my thought. All right, let's get to question 3.
Question 3.
Which is your favorite group from the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference for next year's Emirates Cup play?
Are you a fan of the Cup?
Yes.
You are? Okay, as a soccer fan, Chris, how closely...
Oh, it's terrible. It's not even close.
Okay. So it's not...
So I think it could be perfect if you... There's talk about team expansion. If you get 2 more teams, I think that's when it could be perfect.
All right, how do you fix it? What do you do?
Because you would add 1 more group, so it's 4 teams in a group, and then you could do a home and away for group play.
Okay.
Because like right now, 2 games, and it's basically over. You know who's most likely going to win. You know who's most likely going to lose. But you can't have like a comeback or anything like that in like a group.
Yeah, because they don't play... They play the 4 teams in their group, 2 of them at home, 2 of them on the road.
Yeah.
But it's not home and home like you're saying. So you're saying if there's 4, you'd have 6 games. You'd have, amongst the other 3, you'd play them twice, 1 home, 1 away.
Yeah.
And then I think then you would just have each pool have a winner, right? No wild cards?
Yes.
Because right now they have the 3, Group A, Group B, Group C winner, and 1 wild card. Move on. Okay. I'm with that. And I mean, that lines up to, I would imagine your thought on that will be right. So why would that be better though? With 4...
It would just feel more fair.
Okay.
Because like, let's like the quote group of death with the Rockets, Denver, Warriors, Blazers, and Spurs.
Yeah.
Like if you get 2 rough home matchups or away matchups, it feels like you're really, yeah. Or let's say the Kings have, let's say they have OKC at home and Minnesota at home, and they play Phoenix and Jazz on the road. That would be like,
that's favorable.
Yeah.
That's about the best they could get.
So like, but if I'm the Suns, I'd be like, why did they get such an advantage over us?
Yeah, there's a couple things about the Cup. I like the premise. I think year 1 was a little bit more intriguing than year 2. I just don't know how, and maybe it takes more time, how they create like what you'd see in soccer, where there literally is different things that you as a soccer fan are rooting for, probably equally as much as, like, to me, the Kings are involved in this. Yeah, I want them to win the Cup, but not to the same level and energy that I want them to win the finals.
Yeah, and there's not enough of I don't think there's enough games in the group stage to where you're paying attention. Like, okay, like I got to watch it. Because the idea is you want other teams to be watching other teams. You want like, I got to watch what happens in OKC and Phoenix, how it's going to affect the Kings.
Yeah. Where here's where I liked it. If we go back to year 1 where the Kings made it, and if you remember the last game they played, they were playing the Warriors.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have some of the facts wrong, but there was something like the Warriors not only had to win, but they had to beat the Kings by like 10 points or more.
I want to say it's like 13.
I think you're right. Okay, so it's 13.
And they were winning by like 20 at one point, I think.
The Kings came back, and it was one of those things where the Kings actually won, and late Malik Monk hits the game winner. But what the Warriors probably needed then was to get to overtime and then hope to win like 14-1 in OT, and somehow they advanced. But the way they were playing and the way some of the regular games ended, it was like, look, sorry, we're up 16, but we kind of need to win by 23 or more. Like it was a little bit different, and I appreciated that. I go, these Cup games feel different. But then, like, when the Cup is over, I'm trying to remember. Milwaukee won last year?
Yes.
I don't remember who OKC. Milwaukee beat OKC, and year 1 was the Lakers over Indiana. So I guess I do remember. But that's about it. And I think the idea of getting to Vegas would be cool. And I know I'd be 100% all in if the Kings are in it. But I enjoyed it the first year. The Kings did well, and they advanced to the next round. Last year,
I think like last year,
they got cooked.
It was like the first 2 games and they're out.
Yeah, they were done. And so then the other part that I don't think the league has quite, I mean, they're doing it there's the mystery week of the teams that don't make it have makeup games. And I go back to year 1 where the Kings ended up advancing and they were a 3 seed that year. Or no, this wasn't the 3 seed year. This was the year they were the 9 and had to go to, won the home game against the Warriors and then went to New Orleans and lost. Their extra games that they played were in the cup. And so they're playing really good teams. They lost to New Orleans that eliminated them. Then they had to play Phoenix, who was a good team. Whereas what I remember that year, I think it was Minnesota, who was in the Kings pool, was very good. They got knocked out at 3-1. They just didn't have the tiebreaker points. But their makeup games that year were like, I think Memphis, who was injured, and San Antonio, who was bad. And I'm like, that was 2 easy wins. Kings lost both of theirs, and you're kind of looking at going, it just doesn't seem quite balanced, but I don't know how they get it right.
That doesn't really bother me as much. I think it's just
it's a little nuance in that.
The other thing, I think the incentive to win can be better. And there's this idea of like, oh, you get a playoff spot, but
I don't love that.
And especially if it's a playoff team that's winning, like it was Milwaukee last year. Like they weren't doing that well, but they knew they're going to make the playoffs. That wasn't like an incentive. I like the idea of if you win, you get every tiebreaker because like it's been tied to a playoff spot or like a draft pick. Like, and we've already discussed like team players don't care about.
Right.
So my thinking would be like, if you win, you get every tiebreaker. So that's playoffs. But let's say it's a terrible team and it is a draft, you win the tiebreaker of the draft. There's no like coin flip or whatever for that.
Yeah, they haven't been able to nail the sweet spot. The financial stuff, the players will play for that. They want the money as a fan.
Especially like your bench players or like your 2-way guys that are coming up during these games.
For some of them, that's like significant.
Yeah.
That's a, we're not talking, Steph Curry's not going to turn it down, but it's not going to do a dent to him compared to.
But you know what? I think Steph Curry would play hard for that guy that he's been playing with all year long that he knows can use it.
I know LeBron and AD in year 1 talked about that. Like, look, we're happy we're the first cup champions, but we're really happy for player X who's at the end of the bench or a 2-way guy that just got a financial reward. That's really cool. As far as the Kings group, Group A is Minnesota, OKC, Phoenix, Sacramento, and Utah. That one on the surface right now looks just like a breeze for OKC, but you just never know how that goes. Group B is really good. I think it's Dallas, the Clippers, the Lakers, Memphis, and New Orleans, just solid. And then as Chris said, the group
very random. Dallas and Lakers get paired up together.
Well, it is. You know how they do it, right?
How's that?
It's the standings.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed are in separates, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So
very interesting.
But you got Denver, Golden State, Houston, Portland, and San Antonio. It's different. It's going to start on October 31st. The courts are different. The other part that's a little bit strange, I don't know if they need to stretch it out longer or, because it's done by early December. I don't know. There's some times where you'll watch a game, like let's say the Kings are playing tonight at home and it's not a cup game, but ESPN has a bunch of games on. You're like, oh, there's the different, or this is a cup game. Wow, they're playing a cup game, but the Kings just have a regular game tonight.
Yeah, all the cup games should play at I don't know if there's something that.
Yeah, it's like Tuesdays and Fridays, but then not everybody is in one on some.
I think
days.
the reason why they do that is because they want every day for there to be a game. But would people have like a problem if like Tuesday and Friday was cup week?
Yeah.
And we would be complaining on Thursday where we'd say, man, it's been this long without basketball.
I was telling someone in the league this, I think it was at one of the broadcast meetings. I said, one of the thoughts I had. So you basically play everybody in your pool once. But what if we'll take the Kings as an example. So they've got OKC, Minnesota, Phoenix, and Utah. So Chris, what if in that October week, Cup week 1, Kings play twice against whatever the two, but then the next Cup week is mid-January, and then you play, and then you've got some sort of, can this be part of All-Star Weekend? Can this be But their argument was if it's near the deadline and now, the Kings had Fox in the first part and then now he's on the other team that's playing. I go, well, that's the reality of we have All-Stars traded before the All-Star game and they were an Eastern Conference All-Star. Now they're on the West. Like, I don't know. I don't think that they haven't figured it out. They're going to – it's been successful. And when it first happened, a lot of people were freaking out about it. I said, well, the one thing the league will do is if it's not working, I think they'll stop it. I think it's working. I just don't know to like what level.
The other tough thing is like the U.S. is so big. So the idea of, let me just say, Minnesota wins. Like I don't think it's really helpful to get like fans. Like, no, the idea is to get like home fans to the event.
Vegas. Yeah.
But it's you've got such little time to make that decision to make it there.
Where like when the Lakers were there, that's easy. That's basically like the Lakers home city. Like most of Vegas is rooting.
Like
for the
if
Lakers.
Sacramento got it, that would be easy for us.
It's done. Warriors done. But if it's like you said, Minnesota playing against the Knicks, that's a great final. But like who's getting out there in that short amount of time that, besides NBA fans that maybe are on the West Coast that are just going out there to be a part of the event. So anyway, it'll be fun to watch to see how it all shakes out as they officially announce the Emirates NBA Cup grouping. The Kings are there with the Jazz, the Suns, OKC, and Minnesota. All right, much more show ahead, including when we come back, I think we're going to check in with Kelly Brothers. Yes, we will visit with Kelly Brothers. Sports business coming your way next.
Business.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
That's right, Kelly Brothers time. We always love checking in with Kelly from Cap Trust. In different location today, possibly. Kelly, is that right? Where are you at today?
I am waking up in beautiful Lake Tahoe and just spending a few days up here and doing some work from up here and enjoying the blue skies. And I know the big tournament is this weekend. Wasn't planning on going, but I was more interested in playing than actually going and watching. So, but we'll see. But we're just up here for a few days, and it is beautiful, man. It is. Yeah. And it's also 20 degrees cooler than Sac, which is nice.
I was about to say, and that fresh air, feeling nice up there. Good for you. I'm glad to get a chance to get away. And the beauty of the way work is these days for more and more people, you can work remotely, which is kind of nice.
It absolutely is. Yeah, you can, that's everyone's trying to find that right balance between in office and with your team and remote and flexibility. And it's an interesting thing to navigate because there's upside and downside, and especially with young people, as I have kids coming up in age, seeing, that what they're doing and realizing that even though remote work may sound really good, it's not as much fun as being as a part of a group in an office, in many cases. So.
Absolutely. Well, we always like to tap into your knowledge about things that are related to sports and dollar figures. And sometimes there's some scandal here. What's going on here with the University of Texas? Because they're trying to get a new arena, but not without some controversy.
No, and I wanted to bring this up because it involves someone who was very important in Sacramento and in the Kings and in the building of Golden One. Tim Lewicki is the CEO of the Oakview Group, and he's been indicted on a federal criminal conspiracy charge. This has to do with the development and operation of a new UT basketball arena in Austin, Texas. And supposedly, he's accused anyway of going to another bidder and inducing that second company to drop out of the bidding. And that is illegal, at least the way he did it, at least according to the Justice Department. So what that means is he's going to have to step down because if convicted, that man could be going to prison for a while. But the man who took over for him is Chris Granger. And,
wow.
And that's why I wanted to bring it up because Chris, of course, was very instrumental in the building of Golden One and the Kings staying here in town and kind of reloading after the sale and the move and everything, or projected move and everything else. Then I believe he went to Detroit, but anyway, now he's with the Oakview Group and he's the new CEO of that group, at least on an interim basis.
Maybe the A's should get Chris Granger to help for their future stadium.
Yeah, Jason, sorry I lost you there for just a moment, but Chris, I met him.
Yeah, I was saying, Kelly, that maybe the A's should get Chris Granger for any future stadiums they're looking at, because Chris Granger is like the stadium whisperer.
Yeah, no, he's a very smart guy, and if you're building something, you probably want Chris on your side because he just knows how to negotiate not just money and with banks and with loans and with shareholders, but he knows how to work city and state governments as well in a very positive way. So smart guy. We were lucky to have him when we did.
Absolutely. I know on our little communication here, we're talking about a couple different things today. And one of them is the Savannah Bananas. They have been so incredibly successful over the 4th. I did watch a good portion of their game. Actually, they were being shown on, I think it was ESPN, playing at Fenway, and it was just packed and so entertaining. They've got just this incredible thing going, the Savannah Bananas. It's really a must watch.
Jason, what I want to know is what are they discussing behind the doors at Major League Baseball around the boardroom about the Savannah Bananas? What are they saying? They've got to be scared to death. He could literally come in and just completely eat them alive.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, no, their game at Fenway was the #1 cable show on July 5th. I mean, higher than Major League Baseball. So, they also had a great profile on Jesse Cole, the owner, and his wife on 60 Minutes this week. That ran again this weekend. But their social media presence is more than the 12 teams that made the playoffs last year combined. So, I mean, this is David kind of moving in on Goliath, and Goliath had better be worried because it's a whole different brand, but it's still baseball. They're paying their people more than they pay. Most minor leaguers get paid. And fans are responding in a huge way. I mean, when you think about, Sacramento, what are we averaging? 9,800, maybe 10,000 a night for the Athletics. I mean, you brought the Savannah Bananas to town, you could probably fill a 50,000 seat stadium.
And
I really just wonder, because I don't think NBA was ever threatened by the Harlem Globetrotters, but I really wonder, what do they say in Major League Baseball about this?
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of a technical glitch here, maybe with Kelly up there in the Tahoe region. So I think we lost him here for a moment. We'll see if we get back connected, but I know that was what we were talking about there with the Savannah Bananas. It really is a phenomenon. I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it. I think we lost Kelly there for a moment. So we'll see if we get him back. If not, I know we're getting a little bit closer here to the end, but I watched it. Kelly said it. It was the most popular cable show on July 5th. And baseball has to be worried about this because it went from being kind of a nice complimentary piece to, hey, if people are watching baseball, talking baseball, and we've got the best product, I don't know that it'll hurt us. They still, I would say, have the best product, but more people are going for the other product. Like, you've got some of the best baseball players we've seen in a long, long time currently playing. And you have the Dodgers and the Yankees playing in the World Series. These are all great things for Major League Baseball. But when you're getting 50,000 people going to a Major League Baseball park, Fenway, a historic one, and having a great time, music and entertainment, and I don't know if it's the perfect storm from having social media and, these minor league gimmicks and different things to get people at the ballpark have always been there, but they have hit the right note, and it's amazing how it's transformed the Savannah Bananas. And to have that many people out there, to have that kind of demand for them. I'm telling you, I'm a baseball fan. I watched it. I was thoroughly entertained. And we'll get a few more minutes here because, I want to respect the time of Kelly Brothers out there in Tahoe. Kelly, we got you back here on the phone. You got us okay?
I do, yeah. Sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, I just lost you there, but I just think it's a really interesting business story that's only going to get bigger, the Savannah Banana thing.
Yeah, and so I was just saying this, and I'd love your perspective as someone that's got the business background and sports background too, that look, there's been minor league gimmicks for years, but I don't know if it's just hit the sweet spot of Major League Baseball having a little bit of a downturn. The social media presence that you brought up, I think, has to be a huge factor. And maybe just hitting all the right notes on these gimmicks that I know I'm intrigued. And I'm a baseball fan, and I love Major League Baseball, but I'm watching the Savannah Bananas. And I obviously getting 50,000 at a Major League park like Fenway Park. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing at the timing of why this league or this team specifically has been so successful.
Yeah, first of all, these are good athletes. These are good baseball players, but it's a different game. And it's not just 50,000; it's 80,000 in Clemson, or in Charlotte, or in Atlanta, Boston. They had they filled Fenway Park, so they sold out Nashville as well. And part of it, I think, after watching 60 Minutes piece, part of it is a little bit of a NASCAR feel to the accessibility to the participants. I mean, these players, they not only play the game, they start with a warm up of the fans before they even enter the stadium. They sing and they dance and they talk, and you can go up and see them and talk to them, and there's an accessibility there. Major League Baseball thinks it's a big deal when they allow one of their players to meet a few of their season ticket holders once a year. They're in a bubble. And I understand why. It's a long season. But, boy, I'd be worried if I were Major League Baseball. Who knows where this goes? I mean, they have, they're going to sell 2 million tickets this year, Jason.
Wow.
That's more than most Major League teams. So it's a phenomena. We'll see if he can take it from an interesting side light, and I love the fact that if a fan catches a foul ball, it's out. I mean, can you imagine a foul ball going up, and you have Giants and Dodgers fans vying for it, one trying to catch it, the other one trying to knock it down? Can you imagine?
Oh,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that'd be a good thing. But.
Well, and I loved it the other day of the game that I was watching at Fenway. I think they had a couple there, but the first one they had brought back, and I think his name was I forget. It was a Red Sox that was on the World Series team not that long ago. So he wasn't out of baseball that long, and so the whole place is going nuts because the Savannah Bananas have him, and he hits one into the stands, and a fan caught it, and the whole place booed him because the guy was out. And they're like, "Hey, we got a Red Sox back here," and everybody was mad. It was great though.
Yeah. Or if you haven't seen it, look at what happens if someone walks. If someone walks,
the sprint to second.
That player has to sprint to second base, and if the other team can throw the ball in such a way that every player touches it and gets to second base before he gets there, he's out. But if not, he's safe.
I know. I was trying to understand that. That was wild to watch, though.
It was, and it's taken the most boring move in baseball and turned it into one of the most exciting. Hey, they're just thinking differently. Baseball's trying. I mean, they instituted the pitch clock, and they're doing a few other things to make it not feel so, and I know you have traditionalists who say, "Oh, this is just a freak show." But in terms of getting eyeballs, getting interest, getting engagement, I'd be concerned if I were Major League Baseball. By the way, one other thing, Jason, if you have time, there was a lot spoken of when the Lakers sold for $10 billion,
right?
And there was a meme that went around saying, "Hey, if the family that owned the Lakers had put that money in the S&P 500, he would have had almost $13 billion over the exact same time period."
Wow.
What that doesn't take into account is we don't know what flows are going in and out of the Lakers. I mean, teams could distribute money every year. We don't know. Or they could have capital calls where they ask for money to come in. The other piece to it was when he bought the team initially, he also bought the LA Kings and the Forum, and those were sold off in subsequent years. So you got to add that into it as well. But regardless, it's shown that the S&P 500, without having to do any work, has been a pretty darn good investment over that same time period.
Yeah, it's a pretty good business model for a lot of people out there. Kelly, we always appreciate the time. Thank you for hanging through some of those technical difficulties we had. We look forward to talking to you next week. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, Jason. All the best.
All right, thank you. That is Kelly Brothers talking sports business. By the way, thank you in our chat. The player was Brock Holt. Brock Holt was the former Red Sox that was getting a call. He gets out there, hits one of those foul balls into the stands, and a Red Sox player or a fan caught it, and the whole place booed because it was like, hey, they want to see the former Red Sox come in here and get a plate opportunity. But Savannah Bananas, I'm telling you, it was a lot of fun. I know it was also I don't know, it felt like a night. I'm like, there's not really much on. Let me flip around. Oh, here are the Savannah Bananas. I've seen stuff on them, and I was hooked. I watched a lot of it. And that walk and sprint to second is wild, too, where every player on the field has to touch the ball. Just different gimmicks. I didn't get all the rules, but I was enjoying it. It certainly was entertaining. All right, when we come back, let's talk a little bit about another sport that's almost here, and it's college football. There are so many great rivalries in college football. What's your favorite? What's the best? We'll tell you what a list has here as far as what they think is the best of college football's college football's rivalries. We'll do that when we come back on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then You spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or kohls.com for details.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Cage, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobbit, a Hobbit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Hobbit Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
We're going all in on Ram this month with not just employee pricing, but huge emphasis on the plus you can only get at Hoblet. Right now, save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs.
What about those hard-to-find Ram heavy duties?
If you're looking for something bigger, save up to $13,500 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500s and 3500s, with 500 new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet. Period. 16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn after 6,500 factory rebates and 9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 SFS bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. 1,000 trade-in assist with eligible trade-in. 500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. 13,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after 4,000 factory rebates and 9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 2,500 select inventory bonus cash and 500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 of each net savings. Employee pricing included in dealer discounts. See dealer for details.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It'll get interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Thanks again to Kelly Brothers for joining us.
Good at business.
We had a comment on the text line because Kelly had talked about, I was talking to him about being working remotely. You know, more and more people are doing that, or some are doing that. Some are more comfortable. Chris, you and I were the rare, like when people were like told to not be here. We were here every day.
We had to be here.
Yeah.
The good thing is Doug took care of us.
He did, but there were literally other people that chose to work from home. Like it's some of the other, like we could have had setups, kind of. I don't know that your position could have.
No, I would have had to been here.
Yeah, I guess I could have. I just didn't want to. I always ask people that I know that work at home, say, how do you do it? Like, how do you avoid distractions and blah, blah, blah. And I guess now they're into it enough. They're like, actually, I find it easier. And I said, interesting. Because I feel like I would do the, oh yeah, I had some laundry in the, let me go, fold those clothes, or that looks like the mailman came, or whatever it is, just some sort of distraction. Oh, you know what? I never finished that show, and just you get sidebarred and like, oh yeah, I never got to. And it's different when you've got a radio show that's locked in at a certain time. There wouldn't be that distraction. But like if you had a job where you're constantly doing something most of the day, I don't know. I feel like I would get distracted. But the texter said, what a stupid thing to say. There's literally nothing fun about being in the office. And so my response was, well, you're in the wrong office. And they said, that's 95% of offices, Jason. You're one of the lucky few. If you had to share a 3-stall bathroom with 100 truckers who eat frozen burritos and chili all day, you would understand my sentiment better. I did not know that was your situation.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. Wow. All right. Completely different topic here. We will move on. Sam Amick joining us at 9 from Las Vegas. College football is almost here. Chris, I know you're a fan of college football. What is your favorite college football rivalry?
College football
Your
rivalry.
personally. I'm not saying it's the best, but yours.
Huh. I guess Ohio State and Michigan.
Okay. And according to The Athletic, they did a list here the other day of the top 100. That was rated number 1. So why would that one be your favorite?
That's just like it's always at the end of the year. It's always big. I guess Texas, Oklahoma State is not Oklahoma State, Texas, Oklahoma.
The Red River rivalry. I don't know. That was not. Oh, no, that was number 3. Auburn, Alabama was number 2. Army, Navy, there's a lot of history to that, is 4. And Notre Dame, USC was 5.
That doesn't feel like much of a rivalry anymore.
Notre Dame, USC?
Yeah, because it always seems like they're not good at the same time. Very rarely are they good at the same time.
Yeah. The Michigan-Ohio State one, I think, has maybe changed a little bit. I don't know, as someone that's not connected to either school, but I remember it. I don't know what year it was, but it was early in the 2000s, and they were already calling it the game of the century when both teams were undefeated.
Yes.
The problem was at that time, it felt like the game of the century because we didn't have the current college football system, but the winner was going to stay undefeated. The loser was going to get their first loss, and the winner was moving on or was going to have a chance to play for the national championship or be in, a bowl game perceived higher than the other. Now, I think if you had both Michigan and Ohio State undefeated, the game would be really important to those schools.
It wouldn't have the same stakes
because I would rather beat that team later if I'm playing them in the final 8 or final 12.
I remember that game. That was a close game too, right?
Mm-hmm.
My feeling was that should still be the championship game. I would argue that they lost to the best team, but that doesn't make them the 8th best team now.
Right.
The whole ranking system, I always have a problem with, no matter what.
And we'll do it again this year during college football as an example where college football has a poll, has a committee that ranks them. Try the same exercise in the NFL. Just try it. And we'd have different answers going, oh, no, the Chiefs are number 1. Why? They're 9-3, but Buffalo is 12-0. Why aren't they number 1? And so when you try to do it that way, you're like, yeah, well, I'm putting them number 1 because who have they won? Who have they beat? And you're now it's getting to semantics.
I think a playoff system based off of ranking is always bad because you can always go well, is the 7th ranked team really that much better than the 8th? Or you can argue that the 9th ranked team should be up there before that. So it's opinion.
Yep.
And you're never going to be happy with the result, no matter how many teams are in.
Yeah, that's what you're judging it. Whereas if you have a hard and fast rule, your division winner is this, we go based on record. There are tiebreakers, and there's really less mystery. There still could be a team you're like, oh, they had bad luck because they missed by 1 game. But when it's judgment, just like boxing, just like gymnastics, when there's people having to judge you and score you, it's different than when it's kind of a set and fixed criteria. But I think college football, that to me is the best part of it, is the rivalries, and I hope that continues to stay. I think it will. We know the sport is changing yearly and maybe even faster than that with the dollars that are involved, the amount of people now that are changing teams. That to me will be weird, and it has been weird, Chris. If you were, and it's going to happen at some point where someone is the guy at Michigan and then transfers to Ohio State. You're like, whoa. But that would be so unheard of in those parts. But why would we believe that won't happen at some point?
There's a simple rule to fix that.
What's that?
Sign contracts.
But how what's the length of the contract?
3 years.
3 years?
Mm-hmm. I would say 3 years with an option for the option being the third year.
Any outs to the contract?
Like NFL, like type of possibility.
Now, the original argument for people like not being able to leave teams. So I'm going to play for you at Michigan. I believe in Christopher Laud. You recruited me. I love you. My family loves you. You've been working for this for 3 to 4 years. I'm going. I've signed. I'm here. I'm a freshman. I'm fired up. I've signed this contract that you made me sign. And then you also just got a job from the Carolina Panthers and you left.
But I mean,
that was the initial argument of like, why couldn't players
here's
transfer?
the situation. You can't do that in any other professional. People don't want this to be professional sports, but college football is professional sports.
Absolutely.
Now.
And they're trying to play both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like, oh, no, we're not. Yeah, you are. And now I think they're leaning more in because it was like student athletes. No, you're paying these
like
guys.
These players before what you would do is you would go to a college that you believed would take you to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're going to a college because this might be the college that's offering me the most money.
Yeah.
This is the one that could get me the most endorsements. This is the one that, so you are going now, you're not going because the coach might be 3rd, 4th, or 5th on the list.
Yeah. Could there be a way in your contract? Because I'm not against it. I'm just trying to find pushback here. So I signed to go play for you at Michigan. I'm signing this 2 years. And I don't even know what a right number figure is. I'm going to do, you are going to pay me $100,000, $200,000 for 2 years. But could I get, as a safety net, like I get 50 and then 150? So like if I leave, I have to break this contract for whatever reason. You left. I hate my opportunity. I hate it here. I can't be here for 2 years, but I'm only going to get 50,000 of it. Is that a workaround? Or I don't know. I don't love it. I'm just trying to think of something.
I don't know.
To protect everyone, even though I don't know why we have to protect everyone.
Yeah, unfortunately, like that happens in professional sports.
It does.
Lose their years because they signed with the team.
Or I got traded.
Yeah.
And that's, they don't get traded in college, but
I could 100% see a like soccer-like situation of teams selling contracts.
Yeah. Oh man. It's scary. It is absolutely scary.
This is what happens when you make these college sports into businesses.
Yep.
And then you can't have it both ways. You can go back. I have no problem with it going like, you know what, you get your scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, at the same time, these schools shouldn't be selling $10,000, $20,000 suites, and like college students are paying $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in tuition.
Yeah.
Like if you want to start making money off the teams, like there's no reason that someone going to Texas, just a regular student, should be paying anything.
Yeah, and it went from like initial thought was like, hey, if you're selling in the bookstore my jersey of, I don't know why you came to my mind, Johnny Manziel at A&M, you're like, you're selling and you're making like, why shouldn't Johnny Manziel get a part of that? That's kind of where this originated, and now it's just full blown into, hey, you're a starting left guard, we're giving you $50,000 a year and this and this and this to come here to our university. It's like, wait, where did we get to all this? But it's only going to get more, and it's really going to be something interesting to watch. We'll see if it affects the rivalries that we're talking about. All right, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, normally on Thursdays we'd have Sam Amick at 8. He's going to join us at 9 today, but in this 8 o'clock hour, we will have some more audio from the Kings and their summer league as they continue to work out for their I had one last practice yesterday before heading to Vegas for their first game today. We'll talk a little bit about that. We got who's hot, who's not, and streaking coming up. And the Western Conference in the NBA. It's loaded again. How the West will be won. We'll go over the breakdown of some of the teams look like going into next year. At the moment, we'll do that when we come back.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority Tax Relief.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosen with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, third hour of today's show. Rolling along, Jason Ross, Christopher Ladd. Thank you for being here. Good morning to those of you just checking in. Carmichael Dave on vacation. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. And we are off to Las Vegas, where later today, the Sacramento Kings will be playing in one gym against the Orlando Magic. Meanwhile, 30 minutes later, with ticket prices being a record high, I think they said the average was now up to $223 to see Cooper Flag. Oh, and Bronny James. The Lakers versus the Dallas Mavericks. Interesting. Two Western Conference teams, but really it's about A little bit of Bronny, a little bit, but mainly Cooper Flagg in his first professional NBA opportunity. I've seen those a couple different times in Las Vegas. I will say that they're fun. There's a buzz definitely in the building. 2 years ago, there was certainly with Victor Wembanyama. I remember Zion's first game. I can go back to one of the highlights, and this wasn't even in where Summer League is now, but it was even in the smaller gym, the Cox Pavilion compared to Thomas and Mack. It was Durant versus Oden. And, there was a lot of hype around that at the time. So there's been many, many years of this, and it's going to continue today with Cooper Flagg. I'm a believer in more so than others, I believe, on the Dallas Mavericks. I know the other day we did the NBA over-unders. We had your Sacramento Kings at 38.5, according to DraftKings Sportsbook, had them at 38.5 wins. Also, Dallas was at 38.5, and I thought that number was low. I really like Dallas's roster, and I think Cooper Flagg is going to be one of those players that's going to make an impact on a team. I feel like a little bit of that kind of love right now is going to San Antonio because of a player like Victor Wembanyama. Well, I think Victor Wembanyama is a terrific player in adding Fox and Castle and the guys that they have already, but I think Dallas has a better roster and a young player, a little bit like Victor Wembanyama and Cooper Flagg, that's going to have an impact to go with Klay Thompson and when Kyrie is back and Anthony Davis and on down the line. I think that's a really, really good team. Adding D'Angelo Russell, I think, was a smart move while they wait on Kyrie Irving. The bigs that they can play, and Gafford and Lively, Max Christie. It's a good team. It's a good roster. I think they're well coached, and that's just one of the 15 teams in the Western Conference. And, look, as Kings fans, that's the conference this team has to navigate. And we've been talking a lot about the Kings and how they're going to do this offseason. So to kind of recap where they are, the necessity of what they had to do was get Dennis Schroder. I mean, that was, or a point guard. I shouldn't say Dennis Schroder, but that's the point guard they were looking for. That's the point guard they got. And that's the guy they have going forward. So Dennis Schroder yesterday, a couple days ago, had his press conference. I want to let you hear at least a little bit about that, let you kind of remember where we were as we kind of go back on the scale of the West and of the Kings. But here was Schroder talking about this chance to be a member of the Sacramento Kings.
To have this commitment from an organization, from Scott, that is what I didn't have the last couple of years. And like I always say, I'm a make sure we pay him for that. And in all those little things I bring every single day. But it's a big opportunity for me, for the organization, for the team to be great. And I'm gonna give everything I have to be great this season.
All right, so that's a thought from Dennis Schroder. And back to the GM of the Kings, Scott Perry. Kind of was asked about him because, look, they could have pursued other free agents. We know this organization had said it, the need for a point guard. They addressed it, but why was it Dennis Schroder?
Just want to say a few words about Dennis and why Dennis. If you can recall my opening press conference, which now seems like a long time ago, a few months ago, I talked about this need for this team and organization at the point guard position. I also talked about creating an identity for this organization and this team and how we wanted to play. As a reminder, those 6 things are competitive, tough, team-oriented, disciplined, accountable, and professional. So when you marry those 2 things together, when free agency was embarking upon us, this was the number one guy we felt in the league for us that was going to fit that build and help us establish. He's a building block to us establishing that sustainable success that we're striving to get.
All right, so there's some perspective on kind of Schroder, what he was thinking, certainly from Scott Perry, what he was looking to do. And that takes us to kind of this Kings timeline. So they addressed that in a point guard in Dennis Schroder. They also have added some other, veteran type bodies to this team in the Valanciunas trade to free up some money to give the Kings a little bit more flexibility here, and getting Saric, adding Eubanks as a free agent addition just to the front court. The drafting of the players that they got, trading up to get into the first round to get Nick Clifford, taking Maxime Reynaud. So kind of fitting the criteria of that. But really, a lot of this offseason to me, in regarding to the Kings, if we look at this timeline, is about the players that are currently here and what is the thought behind them. So when we look at, I'm going to reference, I think this was from Yahoo. I know ESPN also had a list of kind of the West and the makeup of the West. And a lot of the criticism of the Kings, which I do understand this from afar, is how on earth, at the moment, are the Sacramento Kings going to be serious about running this back? And by running it back, I mean having a roster that still has Levine, DeRozan, Monk, Sabonis. I think it's probably less about Keegan Murray, but some guys that I think other teams could be interested in, would be interested in, and why come back with the same type of team that basically won 40 games and was the 9th seed, but, in a different year, that could have been 11th or 12th and out of the playoffs. Maybe in a different year, I guess, could have been an 8 or a 7 seed, but probably not. And for an example, Phoenix, who finished 11th, said, we're not running it back. We're changing this team. We can't come back with the same team. So records weren't that different, but Phoenix is changing their plan. but I want to see it all put together. I think they believe in Chauncey Billups, obviously, keeping him around and kind of more the defensive philosophy that he's trying to give to that team. We will see how they ultimately develop. 10, they put Dallas. I am higher on Dallas than I would say this list. Out is Spencer Dinwiddie. In is Cooper Flagg and D'Angelo Russell. Obviously out late in the year. Last year was Luka Doncic in the trade. But I still think they've got some really good pieces. It's a big team, well-coached team. I think that's going to be a team that's going to be better than 10th in the Western Conference. At number 9, the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis is a little bit like my situation I'm kind of describing Sacramento in, because Memphis has kind of gone up and down. The down part made sense, the injury to Ja Morant 2 years ago, and then the other stuff that went on with Ja Morant, keeping him off the floor. But when Memphis is kind of right, that's always been a well-coached, tough organization, tough team. Like, we're back to culture here. Yes, they've got a different coach now. That was still a mystery to me last year why they did that. But out is Desmond Bane, Marvin Bagley, Jay Huff, and Luke Kennard. Coming in, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cedric Howard, Jock Lawndale, and Ty Jerome. They went, so their philosophy is they didn't think they could pay Morant, Jackson, and Bane. That's a big reason why they moved Bane. So they got a couple of pieces in return. I'm anxious to see how that plays out. A team that's getting a little more love than I think they should at the moment is the Spurs. These are the teams that are kind of hard to sort out to me. Memphis, San Antonio, Sacramento, maybe Phoenix, New Orleans. That's where these all could kind of shift around. Like, who has things go more their way? The Spurs obviously have things to like. I think the coaching change officially now that Pop is out will be a little bit of a shock to the system. I do think that the jump that they have to make is significant. This still has not been a playoff team for 6 years now. And Victor Wembanyama, I'd love to have him on my team, that's for sure. But, losing Chris Paul, likely. In is Dylan Harper, Luke Cornett, Kelly Olynyk. And you're just hoping now the addition of Fox last year and the guys they've got coming back. I still don't fully love their wings, but you could see the potential. Lakers are listed as 7th on this list. In is Laravian Ayton. Out is Dorian Finney-Smith. The Lakers, to me, are a little bit in that group of, hey, when things were right last year, look at how good they were. And at other times, it was like a mix and match. J.J. Redick did a nice job a year ago. They got to get the best version of Ayton because he's been up and down. LeBron's being a little bit more vocal about how he sees things going with this team and his future there. So that's something to watch. Clippers are listed as 6th. I always kind of like what the Clippers have, and it just doesn't materialize into playoff wins for them. They lost Norman Powell and Patty Mills along with Eubanks, but they brought in John Collins and Brooke Lopez to go with the team that won 50 games and has a lot of the pieces coming back. Golden State Warriors are listed as 5. Warriors, another team. Look, last year, they were going nowhere fast. The Jimmy Butler trade changed everything. It really did. So now a full year of Steph at 37, Jimmy Butler and Draymond at 35. Talent, there will be some injury concerns, some health concerns, all that, but the Warriors, I don't know if I'd put them as high as 5, but that's where they're listed here on this list. Number 4, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think losing Nickeil Alexander-Walker will be a bigger deal. They, too, are a team that had more things go right for them last year after a little bit of sorting things out at the beginning with Randall and that transition, losing out on Cat. But really a good season and then a better postseason for the run that they made was truly nice. Number 3, they list the Houston Rockets. I would likely put them at 2. I like their offseason. They lose out on Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, but add Dorian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella, and the big fish, Kevin Durant, to go with just everybody returning. I think that's really impressive. Denver is listed as number 2. I'm not as high on their moves as others, though I like what Denver's roster is. I want to see what the difference of Cam Johnson looks like compared to Michael Porter Jr. Getting Hardaway, Bruce Brown, Jonas Valanciunas, that'll be big. Westbrook was important to them. DeAndre Jordan, Valanciunas swap out, I think will be good for them. But I just want to see that change. And even just a little hint yesterday with Nikola Jokic not signing the extension, just putting a little extra pressure on Denver to keep the foot on the gas here. So that might be good for them as the year goes along. And then, of course, the team that has to be number 1 are the champs, the team that won 68 games, the team that's got everybody coming back. Oklahoma City Thunder. I have no issue with that. So we'll see. And that list will probably tweak and change again as free agency continues, though that's thinning out and more trades before we get to the start of the season. But it officially feels like the start today because Summer League begins for the Kings. We'll talk a little bit more about their Summer League debut today as they are taking on Orlando this afternoon in Las Vegas, and the much-anticipated debut for some of these new Kings picks. We'll talk about that when we come back here on Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit sacktownsports.com to join.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Cage Chicken Fingers and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Hi, I'm Allan Styles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with temperature probes and LCD display. You'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon Grills, simply the best.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
And another reminder, Sam Amick joining us in about 30 minutes from Las Vegas.
I know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
We always look forward to Sam's insight. Coming up in our next segment, we'll find out who's hot, who's not, and we'll go streaking. Did Dave extend the streak from 10 to 11? That's coming your way. Chris and I, we're on a little bitty streak. We'll see if we continue our streaks coming your way. A few people chiming in on the text line and our YouTube chat based on our conversation we just had about the West and differing perspectives. We have this one. Memphis and San Antonio will be way better than the Kings. Okay. That's your opinion. That might be true. That might be true. Another one saying, where was this one? We didn't have a full season with this squad. We got about 30 games with no point guard. We will definitely be better. Another one says definitely need to trade for a 3-and-D wing from one of our shooting guards. Okay. Yeah, there's lots of different thoughts on every team, and that's what you do. That's the speculation on these teams to make your guess on how they'll look.
I would say with all the injuries and stuff like that at the end and all the crazy thing, the idea of having an idea of next season based off of the last third of the season, I would say that's insane to think about.
Yeah, I mean, and I said this all along. You and I got a chance to know Doug really well, and every time I talked to him, just other talks off the air, but even on air too, I knew this is an area he wanted to get to and where he wanted to be a coach. And I think he always has thought differently, but like when you have to be put as a coach when you're jumping in mid-season, that's a really difficult challenge. And but it was Doug's reality. He's not going to ask for sympathy or anything like that. But I mean, not only did you take over a team that fired a coach that was the most successful one since the coach he played for, Rick Adelman, in Mike Brown, you had shortly thereafter your best player, one of your most important players, your point guard, kind of help create this little storm. And then ultimately he got traded. And you're getting a new roster on the fly, and we all know the story from that point on. There's not a lot of practice time, so on and so forth. Well, I know Doug has just got different philosophies and different ways to go. Doesn't mean this is going to work. We're gonna find out, right? That you're measured on wins and losses, not whether you're a great guy or a bad guy or coach this way or have no practices, practice all the time, work the guys too hard or too soft on them. It's what's your win-loss record. That's the measurement, and then once you kind of establish that, then how far do you get in the playoffs? Then it's, can you win the championship? I mean, there's always ways of evaluation, always ways to improve, always ways for growth. So I'm anxious to see that part of kind of the different philosophy, different thinking, now that it is going to be Doug's job. So that's something I'm looking forward to see. Right now, though, Doug and his crew are preparing for Las Vegas. The first game of Summer League is today, and the Kings will be playing Orlando later this afternoon. Anxious to be there to watch it and anxious to see the new guys. One of the new guys is Dylan Cardwell, a guy that's there's some excitement about of what he can potentially become. Look, there's a little bit more of a project and a work in progress here, but he was at practice yesterday, kind of sharing his thoughts on maybe what he thinks his role will be here during the Summer League experience.
Just energy, man. Just keep being an energy guy. My role is energy, rebounding, and defense, toughness and physicality. And I try to be the Ben Walls of this team. And so I'm a big fan of Quincy Acey. You know, Quincy Acey's Sacramento King legend in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I try to fill that role. That's my role. And then as far as my development goes, just obviously offensive scoring and free throws. So yeah.
Quincy Acey reference.
Quincy Acey.
How about that?
This might surprise you. I had to rewind it a couple times. Like, wait, the Quincy Acey?
Like that Quincy Acey? That guy? Yeah, look, everybody's not going to be an all-star. Everybody's not a superstar in this league, but can you be a star in your role? Can you come in and, as he said, energy, effort, physicality? Quincy Acey, that would be a good comp as a two-way guy that's trying to, if he ever gets a chance to play, brings those tangibles to the floor. Here he is also sharing just the overall excitement he has right now because he's in the NBA.
I was excited to play in general. The pre-draft process for me was grueling because, every team was every day was a different team. And so now I have my own team. I'm on a team again. I'm just really excited about being on the team. And so I don't care who we're playing. We can play the Harlem Globetrotters for all I care. I'm just happy to be on the Sacramento Kings.
See, I love it. I love it. That's why you kind of do this enough. You get different perspectives from the 10 to 15-year veteran that's like, it's another training camp. It's like the grind. They are doing this still because they love the game and the games, but there's a lot of work. Here's a guy who's like, man, I'm so happy to be here. What a chance. I have a chance to be a pro. I've gone through the draft process, and now I'm on a team that's that wanted me. And speaking of kind of that grind, Cardwell shares some more on the overall thought of what Summer League is like for him.
A chance to play AAU again. I heard it's like AAU. It's a small amount of warm-up time for the tournament field. Everybody's on the sideline with their slides, ready to go hoop. And so I'm excited for that. And then see my teammates, Janai Broom and Miles Kelly, Trinity Johnson, Denver Jones, Jalen Williams. I'm excited to see my guys again.
Yeah, that is a part I haven't brought up. That is a little bit odd. Like you're there watching a game, and then you could just feel like the presence of more people coming in, and just kind of on the side of the gym, it's like, oh, they're the next two teams waiting to take the floor. So literally, like the Kings game will end today, and then they clear the floor pretty quickly, and probably within 15 to 20 minutes, the next game is going. I mean, it's on, and they got to go through their warm-ups, and then the buzzer sounds, and boom, they're on the floor. I mean, it's a machine. They got 5-6 games on each court each day, and so it moves. It moves pretty quickly. More from Cardwell, Dylan Cardwell, on kind of the practice now, getting routine and that done, and getting comfortable now with the pace that the Kings are going to try to play with this summer league.
Oh man, pace! That was the wake up call this week. Coach Dick's done a great job of integrating into the team. But when I was at Auburn, we were one of the slowest paces in the country because we're so good at offense. And here in the NBA, they're prioritizing getting up and down for more possessions. And so that's probably the biggest difference for me. That's how Vegas is going to be. Vegas is going to attract me. And so it's about getting in the best shape.
Yeah, it's about getting in that shape, getting in the ability to run, but it's not just as simple as chaotic running. Like it's running, still have control. And so we will see how he adjusts to that. One last thing from one of the newest Kings, Dylan Cardwell, from yesterday's workout, talking about how, look, he also has his own confidence, but thankful that the Kings are a team that seeing some confidence in him as well.
They believed in me. They believed in me. They're the only team to offer me a two-way, out of, undrafted free agency. And it showed me they had a deep belief in me. And, I don't really care where I'm at. I just want to go where I'm appreciated and where they see a future for me. And so I feel like, Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, they believe in me. And so I'm going to work every day to pay them back.
Similar things to what we heard Dennis Schroder say. So the guy who's an experienced veteran to two-way contract rookie, trying to pay back the organization for believing in them. Yeah, Kings will play today at 4:30. We're getting some questions on that. Yes, in Las Vegas. The headliner game, though, is at 5 o'clock, which will be Cooper Flagg and Bronny James. So a lot of people will be in Vegas in that other gym, and that game, that other one's on ESPN. I don't know that the Kings game is on TV. Let me double-check this, because usually they are maybe on NBA TV, but let me see if I can find that for you, because that is being asked to us multiple times. Let me see if I can find this for you, because usually, there's always someone at the broadcast table doing this. Yeah, NBA TV for the Kings and ESPN Plus. So there you go. But they do have the showcase games being Lakers, Mavericks, Nuggets, Bucks, Spurs, Sixers, all on ESPN. And I think Thunder Nets, ESPN too. But Kings, this one, Kings and Magic, you'll get to see that on ESPN Plus or NBA TV, because they try to get all those out there. There'll be broadcasters out there. Our own Mark Jones does that, and others. And you'll see a wide variety of broadcasters out there calling these games. But on that note, I'm for the people that this is an opportunity for. Depeche Mystery, who we've heard some sound from the last couple of days. I know his voice is getting more and more shot by the day. He's been doing his own. That's his next version of his conditioning, getting that voice conditioned to be able to get after guys and refs and whatever you have to do as a coach. You can hear it. He's struggling a bit with that, but he's going to get his first taste as head coach today, and we look forward to seeing how that all shakes out later this afternoon in Las Vegas. All right, a reminder again, Sam Amick joining us at the top of the hour. When we come back, we ask the question, who is hot, also who is not, and another day of streaking. How are we doing in that department? We will let you know next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back, He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
At Wells Fargo, we know what got you into your business, whether it's manufacturing, running a restaurant, or your business from home. What you didn't get into your business for was banking. But luckily, Wells Fargo offers business checking, payments, and lending all in one place, in your neighborhood and on our app, so you can focus on doing what you love. Wells Fargo, you're good at business, we're good at business banking. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/business. Terms apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobbit, a Hobbit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Hobbit Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
We're going all in on Ram this month with not just employee pricing, but huge emphasis on the plus you can only get at Hobbit. Right now, save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs.
What about those hard-to-find Ram heavy duties?
If you're looking for something bigger, save up to $13,500 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500s and 3500s, with 500 new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobbitDodge.com. Nobody beats Hobbit. Period. $16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn after $6,500 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,500 SFS bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. $1,000 trade-in assist with eligible trade-in. $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. $13,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after $4,000 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,500 select inventory bonus cash and $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 at each net savings. Employee pricing included in dealer discounts. See dealer for details.
And we're back live during a Flex Alert. Dialed in on the thermostat. Oh, we're pre-cooling before 4 p.m., folks.
And that's the end of the third. Time to set it back to 78 from 4 to 9 p.m. Clutch move by the home team. What's the game plan from here on out?
Laundry?
Not today.
Dishwasher?
Sidelined.
What a performance by Team California. The power truly is ours.
During a Flex Alert, pre-cool, power down, and let's beat the heat together.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Hey, Chris.
What's that?
What's hot? Who's hot? Which one?
You're springing that on me now?
Is it too early?
Yeah.
All right.
Should we wait another? Let's wait till tomorrow. Oh, wait. No.
You got something?
I've got something that's not. Do you remember what I said yesterday?
Yeah, you were previewing something.
I said. Do you remember what I said?
No.
You said that Aaron Judge was going to be the AL MVP.
Yeah.
And I said, are you sure about that? And I said that this might answer the question. Cal Raleigh is hot.
Okay.
Cal Raleigh has hit 36 home runs so far this season. The only other switch hitter in Major League Baseball history with that many home runs before August in a single season was Mickey Mantle in 1961 with 39.
Did he win the MVP?
No, he had like a weird leg thing, and some other guy that had like 61 home runs that season got MVP.
So that doesn't mean Cal Raleigh's winning the MVP.
I'm saying he's going to win the MVP.
Cal Raleigh is going to win the MVP.
Yes.
So why should he win it over Aaron Judge?
Because he's better than him.
He is?
And he knows it.
Okay, so what is he doing that's better than Aaron Judge?
Catching.
Okay. That's your answer? Yeah. How's he hitting?
He's got 36 home runs so far.
So he has 2 more than Judge.
Mm-hmm.
How about the RBI?
That's not a stat that matters anymore.
Oh, because he has more than Judge.
That's an old man stat.
He has more than Judge.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
I'm giving you a stat that helps.
You're talking about like, oh, I have to look at numbers and I have to look at how the team's doing and I have to look at this.
Oh, so facts.
You have to look at your gut. And what does your gut tell you?
Yeah, that Cal Raleigh is nowhere near the player of Aaron Judge.
All right. When he hits 73 home runs this year,
then record. It's about home runs.
It is.
Oh.
You're saying if Cal Raleigh hits 73 home runs, he wouldn't be the MVP this year.
If Aaron Judge hits 70 and had the same RBI and batted 100 points higher and won more games, yeah, I would say no.
Wow. Okay.
But
you think he's going to have 70 home runs? You're just thinking crazy now.
Well, you're thinking Cal Raleigh's going to hit 73.
He could.
So could Aaron Judge hit 70?
You're just like,
who's more likely?
You're just being a homer at this point.
Who is more likely to get to 73 or 70, Raleigh or Judge?
Raleigh.
Really?
Yeah, he's closer.
He's closer.
Aaron Judge could go down tomorrow.
So could Raleigh. He's a catcher.
Why are you putting that on him?
Why are you saying Judge will get hurt?
Because it could happen.
Cal Raleigh will get fatigued as being a catcher.
Okay.
And then he'll DH, and so you're catching.
So you're admitting it's a more difficult position.
No, I'm just saying he could go down. You're saying Aaron Judge could go down.
Yeah, he could.
He could. He could. What about Bobby Witt? What about someone else winning the MVP?
That's a possibility.
Oh, but not Judge.
Why?
Why Judge?
Yeah.
Because he's won a couple and probably should have 4, but he's got 2. Should have 3, I think.
I just think that every Yankee should get an MVP every year.
Oh, it's just Judge. I got to give it to Shohei because he pitches.
He does.
Oh, he does.
He shouldn't get it this year.
Is he Cy Young this year?
No.
Oh, I thought he pitched.
He's not even an MVP contender.
He's not even that good. Oh, Shohei's not?
He's not. Do you know why?
Why?
Because his team is not hot.
Oh, are they in the not hot?
They are not hot.
The World Series champion Dodgers?
They got swept by the Brewers. Oh, what happened in the series before? They got swept by the Astros. They've lost 6 games in a row.
How do you feel about that?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Do you like it a lot?
I like it a lot.
So the Dodgers aren't hot.
See, tells you how terrible a team the Dodgers are. Who is my favorite Major League Baseball player?
Who is your favorite?
Who was?
Noma.
No. Like currently playing.
Oh, right now?
Who was before a couple seasons ago?
Shohei. Yeah.
And now?
You're done with him.
Go.
How can Shohei win you back?
Leave the Dodgers.
And go to any team?
See, like if the Angels were good, like I probably would have a big problem with him.
Why?
Just because I don't want LA to win anything. What really helps?
Doesn't it feel different if it's the Angels?
I guess it does, like, because it's not LA.
Yeah.
But like I hate LA. I hate their franchise.
What if Shohei left? So right there,
I hate most of their fans, like the bleacher fans at Dodger Stadium, but I hate most of their fans.
What if Shohei left the Dodgers and went to the Yankees?
I would actually be more fine with that.
Really?
Yeah.
You hate the Dodgers more than the Yankees?
Yeah.
Why?
A lot of history stuff with the Dodgers.
Okay.
Historically, bad
I
people.
would not have thought that. I would have thought you hate the Yankees more than the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, you learn a lot about me.
A lot. So much. So much.
You know why?
Why?
Because I don't think about facts. I think from my gut.
Like
you ask me 2 years from now, it might be worse.
Yeah. Like when I said they're going to be talking about this game for decades.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong.
That was my gut. I'm still talking about it. We're not a decade in.
But my gut was right on that one.
It's not done. We're not to decades yet.
On what game?
Exactly.
What was the score?
I don't know what the score was, but it was the Dodgers Giants game 162.
I thought it was game 5.
That too. See?
Yeah, it was game 5. It was the one that Dave was there for the game.
Oh, that's right. And he left early, I think. I don't know.
And it's just about being there.
What was your Mahomes prediction?
He would have 10 MVPs and 10 Super Bowls.
And he has 3 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Okay. Still
want to talk about another guy.
Yeah, you're done with him, though, aren't you?
I'm done with him.
Completely done?
Yes. I hope that he never even makes the playoffs again.
Wow.
I would rather be that wrong.
How can he win you back?
He's going to have to drop a lot of baggage in his life.
I feel like, okay, who has a better chance of winning you back, Shohei or Mahomes?
Shohei.
I thought so. All right, now I think I need to dig a little more. How low? Give me some people that are lower to you than Mahomes.
That aren't that doesn't have anything to do with crimes or
I
bad
guess,
people.
just so I have we can all gauge this kind of system you're on right here.
I guess Logan Paul.
Is below him.
Yes.
Okay.
Way below.
Okay. So that's good. No crimes there, but just not a fan.
Yeah.
All right. You really turned on Mahomes.
Yes.
You were I mean, you didn't have a jersey, but you were a big Mahomes fan.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite quarterback now? Do you have one?
Quarterback now. I mean,
I don't know if I have one, to be honest.
It might be Burrow.
Okay. It's fine. Mahomes is dead. Dead to you.
Yeah.
Dead to you. All right, let's do it. Let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing?
We're streaking. We are streaking. Current streak, me 3, Chris 4, Dave 10. We got a show streak going on. 17 combined game hitting streak between the three of us. All right, we'll start with the lowest up to the highest, leaving the intrigue with Carmichael Dave. I'm at 3, thanks to Max Muncy, Shohei Ohtani, and Corbin Carroll. Yesterday, I selected Kyle Tucker of the Chicago Cubs. Kyle Tucker got up 4 times. Kyle Tucker got 1 hit. So I am now at 4. Matching Christopher Laud for the moment. Chris was at 4 with Rafael Devers, Jackson Holiday, Ellie De La Cruz, and Cal Raleigh. Yesterday, you took baseball's best player and one hell of a model American, Aaron Judge. Judgy got up 3 times. He got a hit, a couple RBI. Chris, you are now at 5. Oh, no. Celebrate. Enjoy that 5-game hitting streak. Halfway to Dave, but Dave trying to get to 11. He's gone through Betts, Raleigh, Devers, Goodman, Hernandez, Muncy, Witt, Shohei Ohtani, Goldschmidt, Freeman, took Jacob Wilson, got hit in the hand. We said it was not a plate appearance. So he then said, I'm going to take Wilson again. Dave, he may not play. All right, so I'm going to go to Juan Soto. Juan Soto yesterday. Washed out. Postponed. So Dave stays at 10. 2 straight days of keeping at 10. I've just received a text from Carmichael Dave. And Carmichael Dave says, give me Soto again. So he can take him because he didn't play yesterday. He will play in game 1 of a doubleheader. That's the game we will evaluate him. Chris, I am going to take. I think I'm going to go on a little bit of a risk here because I think I've picked him twice, and I think he burned. I know he got a hit once for me and burned me another time, but he's got a bobblehead tonight. So I'm taking the Law Dog, Lawrence Butler, against the Braves.
I like the way you're headed.
Okay.
You know what? I'm thinking similarly.
You like the way I'm bobbleheaded?
Yeah, I think I'm going for the same game.
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna Jr.
Acuna Jr. to get a hit to extend your streak to 6. All right, we're streaking. We're doing well. We'll see if we can continue that coming up. Best of luck to all of us. Again, Soto for Dave, Lawrence Butler for me, Ronald Acuna Jr. for Chris, who does not like Shohei Ohtani or Patrick Mahomes. Do you have wait, let me get your NBA who's on your NBA list?
Of like this don't like the most?
Yeah. I know there's one, but I'm forgetting. Who?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Who I don't like the most.
Is he number 1?
Number 1.
He is number 1?
Yes.
More than Draymond?
Yes. More than Halliburton.
Oh, wait. That's who I thought was number 1.
What?
Yeah. Who am I forgetting?
The player I make fun of the most.
More than Halliburton?
Oh, yeah. He's a big boy.
You don't like him that much? So Luka's number 1.
Number 1. And, but wait, he's getting in shape this year. Watch out.
What's the disgust for Luka?
I don't like him.
Okay.
That's it. I can't even say he does anything bad. I can't say that there's anything wrong with him. I just don't like him.
Because I was thinking it was Halliburton.
Yeah.
But it's Luka.
No, he's up there.
All right. Here's the last question before we go to break. No, I'm going to change one part of it because I know you would say this. You have to go on a cross-country trip with one passenger, and the list on the road, you're picking up one. You have to. It's Luka. It's Mahomes. I'm not putting Shohei because I know you're going to say Shohei, but it's also Tyrese.
You can even put Shohei on there.
Okay.
This is actually an easy one, and you're going to be like, what are you talking about?
All right, so it's a 4 there. So it's Luka, Tyrese, Shohei, and Patrick Mahomes. You have to pick one to go from here to New York.
Luka Doncic.
Wait, what?
Because I think we could party well together.
I'm trying to understand, Chris. I've worked with him for so long, and I'm trying to understand.
Like we obviously wouldn't be talking about basketball. We could just tell stories about like crazy times that we've had in Europe. Like, oh, do you ever do this? Yeah, this is a really cool place you should go. Really cool place you go here.
You remember this wrestling game with Halliburton?
Huh? No, he's a WWE guy.
Shohei?
I guess I could get some gambling tips.
Oh, my goodness. All right.
I guess I'd have to fade his pick, so.
Yeah. Final hour ahead when we start the next hour. From Vegas, Sam Amick will join us. That's next.
Visit SacktownSports.com and join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. This summer, the heat keeps coming on the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kicking off when Third Eye Blind and Neon Trees light up the stage on July 25th at the venue at Thunder Valley. Then head up to the lake for not one, but 2 nights with Old Dominion, August 1st and 2nd at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. And come right back up August 17th for Glass Animals. On August 21st, flash back to your favorite decade with Lost 80s Rewind featuring Flock of Seagulls at Thunder Valley Resort and Casino. Then, get weird with the one and only Weird Al Yankovic live at the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on August 24th. On August 29th, Japanese Breakfast takes the stage at the all-new Channel 24 music venue in downtown Sacramento. And don't miss the legendary Darius Rucker bringing the country heat to the Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic on September 13th. For tickets and more details, keep it right here on Sacktown Sports or visit sacktownsports.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, the story of Brent Rooker keeps getting better and better. Not long ago, he was with 3 different organizations before becoming a waiver claim by the A's. And now he's on pace for his 3rd straight 30-homer season. And when the best players in baseball gather in Atlanta on the 15th, Rooker will take part in his 2nd All-Star game in the last 3 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time from the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, final hour of today's show. Again, at the end of the hour, we'll have crosstalk with Allan Styles, see what he's got coming up on his show, celebrity birthdays, what's on deck, all that coming up. But it is Thursday. Normally Thursday at 8, we check in with the one, the only Sam Amick. But he's in Vegas. Give him a little grace period. 9 o'clock as Sam now joining us from The Athletic, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Jay. I greatly appreciate the extra hour, my friend. Thank you.
Did that help?
It did. Yeah, it did. It was 8 would have been tough. I would have done it, but it would have been tough.
I know you're a gamer. When did you arrive yesterday to Vegas or?
2 days ago. We so our company
that's right
has turned the summer league into a summit where our whole staff comes out here. We have a big meeting yesterday with discussing coverage all day long with a bunch of company stuff, which to be honest is pretty enjoyable. So but yeah, 2 days ago.
How's business? Is business booming at The Athletic?
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, we're quite a few years now into the New York Times partnership, and that part is, a little more streamlined than ever. The word, not to get into media talk too much, but to be honest, very grateful that a company exists where a bunch of, people not only get to pay their bills by writing about sports, but when you get everybody in the same room, like whatever you do for a living, like it's a lot of fun to be in the room with, somewhere between 40 and 50 folks who go through a similar version of what you go through and share ideas and share thoughts and strategies and just kind of have a skull session. So that part, it's a pretty unique media environment that I don't take for granted.
That's awesome. And I'm heading out to Vegas later today as Summer League gets going. Anxious to be down there. It's always fun to be there for a few days to kind of take it all in. Besides work related at the front end of your Vegas trip, what else are you trying to achieve? I mean, here's where you continue to make your connections, but are you going to Vegas with any storylines in your head at all, Sam?
I mean, we're tracking everything. Obviously, the Jonathan Kuminga thing, I think we'll certainly talk about a little bit. We've reached that point, Jay, where, no, I don't have. I wrote about the Lakers and Clippers the other day. You're trying to make sure that you're on top of the different storylines, but admittedly, you're also looking at the calendar and vacations coming around the corner. So we're getting there. This is kind of our finish line. But relationship wise, as far as the job, Vegas is a great spot because, I'll go to the gym today, be there all day and talk to people from teams and just get FaceTime in the kind of way that you don't get and really any other time of year because it's, so many people in the same room.
Yeah, and we've already kind of had the immediacy. We had a bunch of trades from the NBA Finals Game 7 to before the draft. We had the first splash of free agency. There's still other guys out there, and you mentioned Kuminga, the restricted free agent, Sam. I think it's just been a kind of a brutal summer for that group based on apron, second apron, lack of money out there. We'll kind of go back to Kuminga, and where are we on that? I mean, it sure seems like there's just not as much out there for him besides the Warriors, or if they're going to take probably a deal that they don't want to take.
Yeah, I mean, it is tough. I mean, free agency in general obviously is not what it used to be. There's just not much money out there. Guys are moving, by trade, in today's NBA, and so many guys sign their extensions that, of course, we've had free agents, but they're just not high-profile guys. With Kuminga, it's a really tricky one because you've got all this angst that has been built up these past couple of years where he thought he could be so much more with the Warriors, and him and his people have kind of created this vision where, he sees himself as a guy that's going to get big time money and that money's just not there. And so now, things could change quickly, certainly, but, lately it has seemed like him going back to the Warriors is for sure on the table. The Kings, I think, absolutely have interest. And then, as it's just, they've basically set parameters on this thing. Like we would love to have you at our price and our, what works for our books and our plan. And if that's not going to happen, I don't see them doing it. So, these first world problems, but yeah, he's in a tough spot.
Yeah, I think observing us from afar and reading stuff that you have and others, it seems like it's actually been a smart play on the Kings' behalf. I don't know that it's going to land him, but I think, you certainly don't want to do an overpay and risk things, but you kind of have the Warriors in a tough spot. And I think if I'm handicapping it, Sam, I agree. Don't you think he ends up just back with Golden State? I just don't know what kind of financial terms they get to.
Yeah, I mean, probably. This will be an interesting week, though, because his agent has felt like, that there is a perception of Jonathan that is not, consistent with who he actually is. And so I think he's going to get some FaceTime with teams in Vegas. And that, I think we'll see if that makes a difference in terms of, getting eyes on the guy, having conversations with him, and maybe whether it's the Kings or any other team, we know Chicago's in it, and Miami's got their guy now. So, but whatever team it is, it's that idea of, would they be willing to go a little farther with him contract wise once they really sit down in a room with him and get to know, how he thinks about the game, how hardworking he's going to be. Just the human touch, that was part of their plan, was to add that at Summer League and see what happens from there. So I think that's probably the next development.
I want to follow up on that because I think it's interesting that the agent maybe feels in their camp that there's a misperception on him, but that's where I want to go, because when I think about Kuminga, my only reservation as, someone that would like to see the Kings get him would be, I see the talent, you could see where all the positives are. I just never felt, Sam, that the Warriors were fully in love with him or didn't play him at some times that I didn't fully understand without, full knowledge. So I have my own questions on that. What do you think the agent feels like is that misperception with him?
Well, it's just there was a level of negativity around him in the publicly with the Warriors that you remember 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, he kind of went at Steve Kerr in public, and at the time it was our Anthony Slater and Shams, when he was with us, had written a story that was like that Jonathan Kuminga has lost faith in Steve Kerr. So they have been pretty aggressive in trying to get what they want from the Warriors. And so I think, people who know him, I haven't had anybody say terrible things to me about Jonathan at all. And this summer in particular, he looks like a guy that, I'm fascinated to see a few years from now what kind of player he is in the NBA, because he is moving like somebody who believes that he can be a star. And then, the Warriors people, of course, their constant kind of retort is that he's just not well-rounded enough with his game. He doesn't have the best instincts when it comes to, the defensive side of the ball, and doesn't hit the glass and doesn't do all the things that, like, it's been such an uncomfortable comparison. If you look at Kuminga and Brandon Pajemski, where it's like one guy thinks he's a star, the other guy just went out and did what he had to do to get time, and is a more trusted member of that program. So, that's the kind of stuff that, they want to convey that message to other teams, that, like, no, he's about the right things. He's trying to win, and he just wants to have a good chance here.
Talking with Sam Amick from The Athletic, brought to you by our friends at Jiffy Lube. Sam, you've had some stuff over the past couple weeks about the Kings, and Kuminga was a name, and Westbrook and Schroder. Now we know Schroder is a King. But even on the trade front, it seems relatively quiet. That's probably also just as difficult in circles right now. Maybe Scott Perry's not hearing what he wants for, whether it's DeRozan, Levine, Monk, pick your Kings player. What's any kind of late intel on that? Because it seems very, very quiet lately.
Not as of the last couple of days, but the Westbrook thing is interesting, and certainly, I'll couch this by saying I could be wrong, but the sense that I had gotten was that, that the Kings and Scott, have a lot of affinity for Russ without question, but the backcourt is pretty crowded already, and there was concern about making it even worse. So I have certainly been leaning in the direction of thinking that was not going to happen. And nothing's changed roster-wise to change, the logjam that they would have by making a move like that. But, we know they've been active, but it's obviously been, pretty quiet recently.
As far as around the league yesterday, Phoenix is kind of doing a little bit of an overhaul, obviously trading Durant, potential buyout here for Bradley Beal, and then the big contract extension for Booker. That this team intrigues me with Ishbia and kind of new ownership. I don't feel like they're doing the full breakdown, but what do you think about what Phoenix has done this offseason with some of those moves?
Everybody seems around the league, feels like there's one move they got to make that where you got to rip the Band-Aid off and start over, and that was trade Devin Booker, and they're not doing it. So, this halfway measure, or this half measure rather, is it's gonna be fine. They're gonna win some games. They're not gonna be a good team. And buying Brad out, which I think is gonna get finalized this week. It's messy. You know what I mean? That's the word that comes to mind. I don't know if you mentioned it, Jay, but James Jones, the GM that obviously was there when they got to the finals, he leaves yesterday for the kind of the top cop role in the NBA, the former Joe Dumars role in the league office. And so, they're just in a tough spot. They're a very expensive, mediocre team, and that has not changed this summer. Moving off of Kevin, they got what they got, but it's a long ways to go for sure.
Where do you think Beal ends up? Is it the Clippers?
I think so. Yeah. That's all signs are pointing to the Clippers. That could always change, but folks around the league are expecting him to have a Clipper jersey on.
I know in the past you've covered the Bucks. You spent time with them last year before the start of their season. Giannis watch is always out there. What's your latest read on him? There was kind of more rumors early on. Seems like he's somewhat comfortable, but what do you think's going on with Giannis?
Yeah, it's funny. We just, it's like the absence of him raising his hand and asking out for the Bucks is all they can ask for. But he also, has not raised his hand and said, I'm good. Let's go to work. He tweeted some confusion and stuff that would concern me if I was the Bucks after they lost Brook Lopez. And then of course they did the Miles Turner deal. Giannis, and I think this was recent. He did I forget the guy's name, but he did a show with somebody just the other day that just showed up on my social media where he was doing it. It's not a basketball thing, but a guy asked him in the interview, are you going to stay in Milwaukee? And he said, probably, so, that's where he put it when he was asked. He said, probably, I love Milwaukee. And that part's true. It's neat as far as a small market story that he does have a ton of affinity for the city, for the franchise, doesn't want to go anywhere, but also, and this is the type of thing that, I think even LeBron ran into this summer. You mentioned the second apron and this CBA. excuse me, it's just not it's not as easy for these guys to get where they might want to go in today's day and age. You can't just say, this situation's imperfect. I want to get traded over here. Like a lot of these trades, because of the complexity of the rules and the restrictions, are literally not executable. And a player like Giannis, is in a situation where it's just not as simple as saying, I think I'm done with the Milwaukee chapter. Getting somewhere that you want to go and getting there in the kind of way that leaves the roster in the kind of shape you want it to be in to go contend somewhere else is pretty.
Sam, I think we lost you for a second there, so we'll see if we get I think you froze there for a second. So we'll see if we can get Sam back here. Okay, we got Sam back. So Sam, just to follow up on that last thing you were saying, are you noticing a pushback though now from, I guess that would be GMs, agents, players, about it is more difficult to kind of make these trades and kind of the restrictions of where contracts are and aprons and so on. Do you sense a league-wide pushback on that?
Still kind of gathering, feedback, I guess. But it just, I can't tell you how many different things you hear about that seem to die on the vine because, just because of those complexities. I mean, it's funny, in our company meeting yesterday, we did a little video panel where one of the questions was, is this CBA working? And I said, well, is it working for who? Like, you need to finish the question. It's working for the owners who wanted controlled costs and who want, really kind of the ability to always be able to tell the fans, sorry, we had to lose this guy, second apron, too much money. But it's not, I don't think it's working for the GMs. I think it's pretty tough to get work done. Now, granted, we've seen a lot of trades in this summer, so it's not like you're not having action. But when it comes to the big boys and $50, $60 million salary slots, that's a different conversation.
Well, one of those guys is Nikola Jokic. I don't know if we read more into it or not. Denver's been active. They've been aggressive. He didn't sign his potential extension. Anything more to that? Just kind of maybe a better opportunity later, keeping the pressure on the Nuggets. How much of an eye should we keep on that? Oh, I think we lost Sam again. Gosh darn it. I was anxious to hear what that answer will be. We'll see if we can get Sam connected back with us here. We're having a few of our technical difficulties, so we appreciate those of you hanging tight with that.
All right, good old hotel Wi-Fi. You got me?
Yeah, we got you now. I don't know if you heard that, Sam, but the last part was basically
I got your audio. So there's no signs that he wants out of Denver. Okay. And I've talked to Nuggets about this, and I've been through this a million times where the organization hates it that we speculate, maybe it's a bad sign on the extension. To be honest, Jay, like in my own defense, I wrote something yesterday talking about how the Lakers and Clippers are already game planning for either next summer or the summer after that. They want one of these big boys to kind of, break loose, whether it's Giannis or Joker. Those are the two main guys. But, whoever of that number, it's a pretty short list. And their thing was, there's no sign that he doesn't want to be there. And the comparison that I give them is De'Aaron Fox, because, not the same caliber of player, but how many times did we hear about how De'Aaron had turned down the extension and his camp at the Kings? Well, nothing to see here. It's just because he can make more money if he waits, that type of thing. And that's fine. But what it does is it guarantees that now, Joker has another decision to make next summer. So if you can't tell me if this next coming season is a train wreck for the Nuggets,
right,
that won't be an issue. Now, yes, like he can sign a 4-year extension if he waits, more money, it lines up potentially better with his next extension when he's older. So there's plenty of plausible deniability for why he did it. But they also are coming off a year where they fired their coach and the GM, and yes, they got to the second round, but that's not, this guy's trying to win championships. So they have a new front office that actually is off to a really strong start with John Wallace and Ben Tenzer and David Adelman coaching the team. So I'm basketball wise, I'm really curious to see what they do this year because they were so close to knocking OKC off in the playoffs. But yeah, if you're a Nuggets fan, like you want a guy like that to sign the extension every time just so you can sleep at night.
Talking with Sam Amick here. Sam, as we continue to bounce around the league, in New York, when they got rid of Tibbs, very controversial, but it's like, all right, I'm sure they got someone in mind. And then we heard about all the different coaches that they offered or wouldn't get permission. And then here we are. It's former King Mike Brown is their head coach, who I actually think will do great there, but there's obviously some great pressure. There's huge expectations. What was your whole thought on just that process and now how Mike Brown is the coach of the Knicks?
Yeah, strange, really, really strange process. I wrote about it a few weeks ago. My whole thing was that they very quickly revealed that they had no plan initially besides firing Tom Thibodeau, and that's really shocking because of the job that he did. Like, to me, it's one of those things where you don't fire a guy like that unless you have somebody that you've decided is better waiting in the wing. That's not what they did. So, they run around asking for permission of 5 different currently employed head coaches, interviewed a handful of folks, even talked to Don Staley, legendary women's coach, and go with Mike Brown. And that I think Mike's a fantastic coach, and I think he'll do a really good job. It is like, man, it's like, I mean, he's getting paid 4 years, almost $40 million. So not playing my violin for Mike, but from a pressure standpoint, it's a tricky one. Like, I can't remember, a job where it was like the team got this far. So, think about, this is probably a bad comparison, but like if he had gotten the Kings to the conference finals, that would have been legendary. You know what I mean? If he gets the Knicks to the conference finals, then he failed. Like,
right.
Like that's all there is to it. Like, so he's got a very, very, very small, window to be considered a success here. And it's a team that, like, if we talked about the whole league on paper and I just said, are you going to handicap the Knicks as your champion? It's like, no, I'm not. I'm handicapping OKC, and that's not Mike Brown's fault. So I'm curious to see how that goes because it's in the context of New York media and Knicks fans, and and the fact that Tom Thibodeau did have a lot of fans who loved him, and if Mike and the Knicks fall short, it might get a little tough out there.
That's for sure. As we're talking with Sam Amick, who's in Las Vegas today, Summer League begins. Kings play this afternoon. I'm anxious to see some of their young guys and some of the returning guys that they have there. But 30 minutes later, Sam, it's Cooper Flagg, Bronny James. Am I going to be the only one in Cox Pavilion watching the Kings because everybody else is in the other gym?
You might be, my friend. You might be.
I think I know where you'll be, right?
I'll be there. I'm actually, this will be fun. I've never done this. I'm bringing out one of my sons and his buddy to the game, so they'll be watching it. Yeah, I mean, it should be a good time. I was talking to some writers last night about Bronny in general and how I know the fans get tired of hearing about Bronny because it's because he's LeBron's boy, that's why we talk about him a lot. But basketball wise, like, there's some signs of him getting quite a bit better. And, we were talking about different player comps last night of like at his best, who he could be. Somebody threw out a Marcus Smart and it was like, that's a little too ambitious. But, like a good role player, I think somebody mentioned Bruce Brown, so I'm curious to see if he can establish himself this year as a legitimate rotation player. And then the Cooper thing, I was at the Team USA training camp here in Vegas that legendary day when Cooper, at the time at the age of 18, got on the floor with LeBron and Steph and KD and all those guys and just blew them away. And it was just crazy. Like, the buzz in the building, we got to watch some of it the back end of that game from up in the balcony in the arena. And that has now become part of his lore. Like, he went from impressing these legends that day to having a wonderful season, obviously. And it looks like he's going to be a really special player. But yes, that's where the rest of the world is going to be, Jay. You'll be over watching the Kings game.
And I don't know if Dallas has even said this or they even have to, but I remember Wembanyama had the same kind of hype, and he played the one game, and it was kind of like, all right, we're good. We'll shut him down. I don't know if Dallas has those plans, nor do they have to state them, but I am anxious to see what he is going to look like, at least in phase one, and what he ultimately could be, because that's there's a lot of pressure on him, but I think he's the kind of guy that, can kind of back up this hype. At least it seems like it.
No, for sure. I mean, you talk about pressure. It's it's wild that the Mavs, after everything that happened with the Luka trade, that they found this, escape hatch out of some of the pressure. And now there's, all this excitement and buzz from Mav fans, despite, the Kyrie Irving injury and everything that came before. Cooper's coming to save the day. So we'll see how it goes.
What's your length of time in Vegas? You there for a little bit or a long time?
Not too long, just through today's Thursday. What's the date today? I'm losing track of time. I think I'm here till Saturday. It's just a couple more days. Gonna keep it brief. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the right amount of time there. Yeah. So I'll see you down there later today. Maybe if I make my way over to that JV game that you're gonna watch. But Sam, thank you so much as always. We appreciate it. We'll see you in Vegas.
All right, brother. See you today.
All right, thank you. That's the great Sam Amick joining us from Las Vegas. A little later time, but I think you guys understand how that all worked. We appreciate him. Still to come, Crosstalk with Allan Styles, celebrity birthdays. But next, What's on Deck, brought to you by our friends at Trex Decking and Railing. All that coming up right here on Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives are spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6580. That's 800-583-6580.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Allan Styles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Jacob Wilson has missed a couple games with that right hamstring soreness, but the belief is he could return at some point during the A's homestand. Zach Geloff, out with that stress reaction in his ribs, has played a couple games for the AAA Las Vegas squad and also should be returning during the A's homestand. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Allan Styles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is going to be fun.
It's time for What's on Deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing.
All right, we got What's on Deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing, as the billboard said, here in just a moment. Cleaning up a few more texts. Thanks again to Sam Amick for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Mostly everybody does. We get a lot of feedback on that. But Sam was talking about, Chris, he was at with the Athletic. They kind of have a summit, a work summit, before NBA Summer League. They get a lot of the people from the Athletic out there. Someone who's at Quantum Leaper said, must be nice. Wish my company had a Vegas weekend summit. Imagine if we did here. Like we had a big station.
Oh, I've heard of amazing summits that our company puts on.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Do tell.
I heard about snow trips and snowmobiles.
Oh, so you're in management now. I used to be in management. Have you been involved in those?
I have not.
Huh, that's funny. I don't think I was either. Maybe it's something we can expense.
Maybe.
Yeah. That's it?
That's it?
So if we took this crew, our station, basically, we're just talking about our part of the building, and went to Vegas, I think that would, it's kind of happening a little bit this week, but not.
Yeah, basically all of you guys are going.
Yeah, but I mean, if we had, I'd probably be hanging with you. You and I'd be playing blackjack.
Yes.
Dave would be wandering.
He'd be on his phone a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know who the interesting person would be?
Who?
What's Kyle doing in Vegas?
I don't know. I don't know what Kyle would do. Frankie, I've seen Frankie, Chris, and Brendan in Vegas.
Frankie would be worrying.
Yeah.
That's what he's best at.
Chris would just be pretty chill. Brendan would be chill. Alan, how about Alan in Vegas?
Oh, he'd join us.
He would?
But then we would
then disappear at times.
Yeah, he would, because he would be like,
guys, I just got this incredible thing that happened over here. What?
Wait, who is it? Oh, it's Cam Newton.
Oh, yes.
The picture of Cam?
Yes.
And he just looked like he looked like Cam Newton's little nephew.
Well, might be. We get Jay out there. Jay would have fun.
Oh, yeah. Jay would be like I would reach out like, hey, what are you doing right now? And he'd be like, I'm at this spot.
Jay would know the best spot to be. Like, we might be somewhere cool, but Jay's like, guys, I'm over here. Like, all right, we better go find Jay.
It would be like, oh, what would be crazy if Marshawn Lynch was here and Jay, like a couple hours later, would be like, hey, Marshawn Lynch and I are over at this spot. Come check it out.
Exactly. Like, where? Whitey would always be fun to hang. Draper will be there. He's actually literally going to be there. So, yeah, it'd be funny if we had our work summit like the Athletic does in Vegas. Makes sense for them to do it, but maybe someday we will do it.
I guess that's So it is all of the. Is it all the NBA or all of the?
I'm assuming it's all the NBA for sure,
yeah.
but then I don't know. I mean, you can't probably. I mean, baseball's still working, football's still working. You know, that kind of stuff.
I don't know if I would like the summer league or not as a writer, because as Sam was saying, like you're right before your
this is like
vacation.
They're just about the break time.
Yeah.
Like we're dealing with this as the beginning of the NBA season. They're dealing with this the end.
Yeah. What's crazy is there used to be like at least a buffer between like end of the season, draft, summer league. There would be like a small vacation between like the end of the season and the draft and summer league, and then a bigger off time between summer league and the start of the season. Now, like that first one's gone.
Yeah, and I'm still the proponent for, and they're not going to switch it, but I, out of necessity, whether it was COVID or strike or something or holdouts, remember when they had the season start at Christmas?
Yeah,
I think that's
perfect.
I agree 100%. I mean, I don't think they're going to shorten the season, but if you still had 82 games and your opening day was Christmas, that just kind of, and not everybody would open, but then the next day would be, most everybody.
How did you decide that? When would the season end? Where your season never ends?
It's like Smackline, where your season never ends. I would say now it's mid-October. So if we go 2 months later,
one thing I could see the NBA being against with that, which other leagues have dealt with it, the WNBA and NHL, would be the Olympics.
That would be the issue, but
But they've all done. They're like the NHL takes a break during the Winter Olympics. WNBA takes a break during the Summer Olympics. Like, does the WNBA take a break during the Summer Olympics? Yes.
Oh yeah, because their season's going on. Yeah. The problem is the NBA is done, but in this case, I think the NBA would be done. What you might have is all right. So if we do the 2 months, season ends early April. It would end in June, and then you got about I think the finals. We'd be in like round 2 of the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Right now. So I think if you had that with the Olympics not till August generally, you might bump into a team that made the finals and then, hey, I just won. Here's the parade. Now I'm off to go play in the Olympics. That would be kind of rough. But I think if you did Christmas as your opening day, had basketball till July, late July, early August for the finals, then draft
that
and camp.
might not be. I guess, man, we just saw all the injuries at the end of this season.
Yeah.
I guess that would be awful seeing like someone tearing something in the Olympics.
Yeah, well, it'd be awful any which way, but yeah. And then I think you just push everything back, but they're not going to do that. I think they're content with it. I just thought it would also, their biggest competition would really be baseball, and they're not worried about that. Yeah. I think there's less competition with football. You give football most of their season. You can be with even like fall league, I guess, instead of summer league for basketball in Vegas. I don't know.
Yeah.
Draft is
it's
later.
One of those things of like, we could probably find someone in the NBA that would say like, this wouldn't work because of this, this, and this.
Right.
You would basically have to get like college to be on your schedule, college basketball to be on your schedule. You would have to change like the FIBA type of stuff, like not just the Olympics, but like the World Cup games and stuff like that. That would have to change.
The one that's brutal is women's basketball. So like Caitlin Clark, I mean, she was on a level that nobody has ever experienced in life. There's a very small handful of people have had ever the kind of hype and the media swarm that she had when she was at Iowa into the WNBA. But she played all the way that season with all the hype, great season, gets to the semifinals, I believe, drafted a couple days later, and then right off to camp and go. Like, she never had a chance to breathe.
Like, I mean, that's what's going on right now at the NBA now.
There's a little bit more time. Like Cooper Flag ended in March.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
you know what I mean? So there's a little bit of time, but it's crazy.
The thing, people were like flipping out that she wasn't in the Olympics. She wouldn't say it, but I'm assuming there is some part of her that's just like, at least, okay, I could take a breath.
Yeah, exactly. So what's on deck today? Again, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing. Kings basketball, 4:30, Magic and Kings from Las Vegas. In fact, the Summer League schedule today, what else you got? Pelicans and Timberwolves. That starts at 12:30. At 2, you've got Cavs and Pacers. So the Cavs and Pacers will be before the Kings and Magic. Thunder and Nets are at 2:30. Following that game is the Lakers and Mavericks at Thomas and Mack. You got Nuggets and Bucks, and the Spurs and Sixers. So the Spurs are the number 2 pick will go against Philadelphia at 7 o'clock.
And don't forget about AEW Collision as they go home to All In this weekend.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You've got baseball today. Oh, the Mets and Orioles are underway. Let's see if Dave has a hit. He took Juan Soto. Soto has been up twice. He's 0 for 2. 0 for 2 in the third inning of that one, taking on the Orioles. No score. The Braves take on the A's. That will be at 6:05. Oh, 6:05 tonight. That's an hour earlier than normal.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. At Sutter Health Park.
This is kind of funny, but you actually didn't see my reaction when Soto got out his second time.
What was it?
But I can replay it for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It was great.
We also have Mariners Yankees. Cal Raleigh versus Aaron Judge. That one's going on.
See, do you know this is another reason why Cal Raleigh is such a great player?
Why?
I'm rooting for him. I want him to get the MVP.
That's why?
He's a Mariner.
Uh-huh.
A Seattle Mariner.
Oh, and you even like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he was doing this, if for some reason Seattle was in the National League and he wasn't going up against Aaron Judge for MVP, I probably wouldn't care.
You also have Wimbledon going on right now. The women's semifinals. We already had an upset. World's number 1 is out. And right now we have the second match. Swiatek looks like looking pretty good to get to the finals, where she'll face, I forget the American who won, Amanda Anisimova, 1 in 3 sets, knocking off the world's number 1. So there you go. That is what's on deck. You're all caught up. When we come back, we'll welcome in Allan Styles, see what he's going to do in Vegas and what's coming up on his show. Crosstalk with Allan, celebrity birthdays, next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Tricks Racing Cage, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Whitey here with another great grilling tip. The Napoleon Stainless Steel Prestige 500 Connected Propane Grill with infrared side and rear burner featuring Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity brings you closer to your grilling experience than ever before. The Napoleon Connected lets you monitor temperatures, set timers, and receive high temp warnings. Boop, boop. All from your smartphone with with temperature probes and LCD display, you'll always know exactly what's happening inside your grill. Napoleon's LED control knobs even illuminate for nighttime entertaining and feature safety glow. Napoleon grills, simply the best.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Put my bell.
I think Allan has it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There we go. Drill. You know the drill.
It's funny always hearing Allan ask me when the on-air light is on if we're back.
It is funny when you hear that.
It's very funny.
Back. Yeah, Allan now knows. He just asked in here as well. Hey, by the way, we were talking about the home run derby the other day. We got a new entry in from our Athletics, Brent Rooker.
The
Rooker, friend of the show. He's going to be in the home run derby. Now something else to watch. Hitting bombs.
Might listen to that on mute.
Oh yeah. Oh, what if he was an option in your car ride across
Ooh,
country?
that would be last.
Last?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in a van with the entire Mahomes family.
Wow. That lets us know.
Are we back?
We're back. Hey, Allan. Welcome in.
Well, sometimes the on-air light is on.
Which means we're on air.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's on and we're not on air.
When?
How often is my on-air light on?
No, there's been a thing where it kind of flickered. And,
I turn it on and off. So when it's off, it should be off out there.
The light?
I can't have no control of the light, but control my mic.
No, I know, me too. But sometimes the light stays on.
You're always welcome in.
I was talking with Angie.
Nah.
He always puts these things on why he didn't do something. And then when you finally get to the bottom of it, I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Vegas, of course, and how Draper said on air. I said Draper's going to ignore me if he sees me in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
I said that on
air?
my show, yes. And
What did
then
he say?
hours later on his show, he says, if Allan comes up to me, I hope he doesn't come up to me because I will ignore him.
He said that.
Not verbatim.
Well, you guys are on the same page.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And I said, and Jay started cracking up. I said that on the show. But, yeah.
I won't ignore you in Vegas.
I know you won't because you're Jason.
You will ignore him in the casino.
No, he will not.
Because he's a roulette guy.
I just
lady luck.
I'll watch you play
Mr. Styles.
roulette.
My dad has a rule, and it's hard to do in Vegas, but his rule when we went out for March Madness, he does not play blackjack if anyone else is at the table.
Oh.
So he's a solo player.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like,
because he doesn't like what other people do.
I guess he wants to control his own destiny.
I guess I can understand that, but you can also lose faster.
Well, that's
or win faster.
Well, we ended up at the outside one by
So
guys.
not even you?
No, he wouldn't play with me.
Wow.
I had to sit there and watch. He's like, let me teach you something.
But what if you play the same way? To me, that's where it is.
Yes.
There's certain things if someone's playing at the table that's just
I don't know,
different or weird.
He wouldn't play
with
he wouldn't play blackjack.
I get to the point where okay, how many more hands until I leave? Or it looks like they're about to lose, so I'm going to wait them out, and then they'll lose, and then okay, they're gone. Fine.
If they do something crazy, I'll just grab my chips and just take off.
Yeah, or I might wait. Okay, sit out of hand.
Right.
I'll let them do it.
I mean, today starts a whirlwind for me, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Describe it.
You want to hear it?
I do.
Okay, so me and the fam, Baby Styles, wifey, we have a promo endorsement that we're doing for Baby Styles' first dental excursion at Kids Care Dental.
Okay.
That's today. My father is in town.
Okay.
So he's driving up around the same time. So I'm like, hey, you can get into the house, whatever it is. Then, so we got to do that. Then we'll hang out, have dinner. Tomorrow, Ludacris at the State Fair.
Oh, it's back on?
We had to. I'm not gonna flex. We had to get the tickets ourselves.
Okay.
Ludacris.
Oh man, I'm out of cash.
Oh yes, no, it gets worse. Ludacris on Friday got those tickets.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Whoever I bought them off of, I hope you're happy on StubHub. Then 7 a.m. I fly to Vegas Saturday.
Hang out with me.
Summer League.
Yeah.
You, Frankie, Chris, Brendan. Chris
Draper.
Watkins going to be on Draper. Chris Watkins going to be on the show today for an hour, starting at 12. Sunday, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Do the show Monday from Viva Las Vegas, then fly back Monday.
Have you figured out the Monday part yet?
No, Jay was trying to explain where the nooks and crannies are where I could do something. So I told him,
you have equipment?
Yeah, I said, okay. You got to text me.
Gotcha.
You got to text me that stuff, Jay.
Yeah, I could tell you too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm schmoozing.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to come back with sources.
Okay.
New sources.
News sources
or
one
news
more
for
sources?
No, one more for you. Tomorrow, around 1 o'clock, 1:15, my little sister is calling in to do an impression of me. She says, I've been listening to you on the air, and she did an impression. She came up earlier this week, and I said, you won't do it on air. I called her this morning. So tomorrow.
Is it good?
I want everyone. I want people to. I'm not going to sway them either way.
Oh, she might have now just become my favorite Styles.
So that's 1:15. So action-packed 4 days for you, Jason.
That is awesome.
1:15. Putting in my phone now.
And then apparently, I guess the baby could come now. I guess.
Not
31.
You're talking about
weeks.
this now because Dave isn't here.
Yeah, Dave's not here.
Yeah.
You're not
I got a little worried. Like, whoa, you can't just say
People keep
that.
coming up to me at Rivercast games. Has Dave found out yet? No, everyone's doing a great job.
Yeah.
We're just going to disappear one day.
This might be one of our best show, like, as a community.
It's
just Dave not paying attention.
Well, yes. And what was great is I remember when you told me and you hadn't told it, but then it became, I don't know when this became a thing to not tell him, but
I want to say you told us in like around February.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And then I don't know that I was aware that we weren't telling him. And I happened to not say it. Like, I think it was one time I was like, going to say something to Dave and I just didn't.
Yeah.
Or I forgot about it. And then when you're like, yeah, we still haven't told, I go, oh, shoot. Oh, no, I haven't told him. But
this shows us how good of a community we are.
Yeah.
People keep coming up to me.
Did Dave find out yet? Yeah. No, don't say anything.
What's coming up today?
Chris Watkins, 12 to 1.
Is he there already?
Chris is here. Brendan and Frankie, I think, are already there.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if they were on
Pick up the Miz.
I think you're right. I think they're flying now.
Yes. Yeah. So that's happening. We ran Tankathon, the simulator a couple times. We will reveal. I ran it twice. Okay. And it's great news if the Kings aren't good.
Okay.
This year. If they are what Tankathon thinks they'll be, Kings will be in a really good spot. That's the only way. That's the only way I can say it. Then obviously with Summer League kicking off, we're discussing all the different parts of Maxime Reynaud, Nick Clifford, obviously Devin Carter. So a lot of that, and also just discussing any free agents that are still floating around. Go get Chris Boucher.
Yeah.
Let's stop messing.
Let's do it. I'm going to be down there today as probably the only one at the Kings game. Like everybody's gonna be watching Bronny and Cooper flag. They're 30 minutes apart.
Yeah, that's
I thought it was longer. When I remember this came out, I'm like, oh, good. I'll watch Kings and hop over to that game. Mm-hmm. It's 30 minutes apart.
When's your flight?
About 2 hours.
Okay, because I don't have a real ID, but apparently TSA, I can still use my passport even though it expired.
Passport,
It expired in June.
Ooh.
No. I went on TSA. I can go.
Okay. I would go early.
I'm pretty sure I'm
Allan,
good.
we won't be seeing you in Vegas.
That's the one thing. Yeah, I looked it up. Trust me, look it up. I can.
How do you not have a real ID?
It just didn't happen. I don't have the little bear. Is it the bear?
Yeah. I forget what's different. I was so mad. It was, let me see. 2 years ago, I had my license renewed. I'm like, oh, perfect. I get the wait, it's not even a real ID.
Well, it's not, no.
They renewed it, but it was for 1 year to make sure I had to go get my real ID.
Yeah, how did you not renew it? When did you renew it last?
I don't know. All I know is I have no bear on it. There's no bear. I'm telling you, I know it's not it.
Is that the difference?
Yes.
Let's see. When is this expire? Oh, 2026. It expires in
corner.
It expires in 2026.
But when did you renew it last?
I don't know. You know what it was? I went in and got my address changed, but at that time, Real ID just wasn't a thing.
Well,
it was.
So maybe
we'll see you in Vegas. Maybe
it actually was a thing. So
check TSA, man. I'm fine.
You only got like a 5-year.
I'm good for 2 years. I just can't leave the country.
Time for Celebrity Birthdays, brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. Happy birthday today, guys, to Sofia Vergara.
Oh, you see her and Tom?
Brady.
Brady.
Cruz.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Apparently. Tom.
I think
Tommy.
she might be a little too old for Tom.
Yeah, that's probably right. Is she in the fives? Got to be close, right? I'm say 51.
I think she's 53.
We have a correct answer. It goes to Christopher Laud, 53.
You saw that before the
Happy
show.
birthday to Antonio Brown.
Oh.
Here's a receiver.
Now here's a Raider. I don't know.
Was he a Raider?
He was.
His feet.
His feet were Raiders.
They stayed
Hot
in
air
Vegas.
balloon was a Raider.
Is he 30? It's crazy because he's been around so long. I think he's probably only 33.
31.
Allen's closer, 37.
Whoa.
Happy birthday to Jessica Simpson.
Did he skip a couple? The chicken of the sea?
Yeah.
Jessica Simpson. Now she's got to be, man, I'm going to say 48.
44.
Chris is closest, 45. Juwan Jennings of the Niners.
Now here's a Debo replacement. Now, you know what they say about receivers? I'm going to say he's like 26.
24.
Allen's closer, 28. Last one, Urban Meyer.
Ugh.
Now here's a Jaguar.
69.
67.
Allen's closer, 61.
Whoa.
He looks terrible for a thing.
That's it for us. Thanks to Kelly Brothers. For Sam Amick, I'm Jason Ross. Thank you to Chris. We'll join you tomorrow from Vegas. Allen's coming up next. Hopefully we see you in Vegas. The Allan Styles Show next here on Sacktown Sports. See ya.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.